me and Ryan have been officially welcomed to the jungle that is Barstool Sports.
I brought it toward the Coyotes, and I asked them if it was okay if I joined the Spittin Chiclets podcast full time.
Ryan Whitney's got a pink Whitney out there now.
Hey, this is a sandbagger. Get that on camera.
Keith Yandel, the song man, is a full-time member.
Marley just got an assist from
Chris Beach. Whoa, we're buzzing right now. Sonk.
What is up, folks? Welcome to episode 606 of the Spittin Chiclets podcast. We're all rocking the same lid. Well, the same sort of lid. Biz has a different color scheme. But what is going on, folks?
You know what next episode is?
607.
607.
People get so mad.
Oh, yeah, we just lost half our followers. The other half that are actually still around.
Well, we'll get into that in a sec. But first, we do need to mention, Biz, this episode is sponsored by Discover, the official credit card of the National Hockey League. No matter if your team wins or loses, Discover is there for you with cash back on all of your post-game purchases. With the Discover IT card, you can earn cash back on every purchase. So celebratory wings just got even better, a little tastier. Learn more at discover.com/credit card. Cash back on team gear, cash back on tickets, cash back on fries. It don't matter. There's cash back involved. The Discover NHL Winter Classic is taking place on January 2nd, 2026 in Miami, Florida. Tune in on TNT. Get cash back on every purchase with the Discover IT card. Learn more at discover.com/credit card. And I will say this. We have a chance, and it's not definite, we have a chance to bring something to you out of Winter Classic that you couldn't guess if you had 67 million guesses. So let me tell you right now, be prepared for a possible very, very
We can't
special
tease
interview.
the potential of it even happening.
No, I'm not. But put it this way: everyone who's thinking anything right now won't be able to think of what is maybe possible.
Bah. Bah. There's a clue.
Okay.
That's the only clue.
Biz likes being teased.
Oh,
yeah, he does. He does. And choked. And,
Bring out the
and choked.
feathers.
Sorry.
Bring out the hot candle wax.
Yep. Maybe, yeah. Just pour it all over your chest.
Yeah.
That's your style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pour it on my
Where are you
butthole.
at right now, busy boy?
I was just going to ask if you could hear the horns going on one of the cruise ships. I'm actually at the Pac Rim right now in Vancouver, British Columbia. A bunch of the boys are having a boys' lunch on Friday to celebrate the holidays. I wanted to come up here, get a little bit of work done, and obviously see Jeff, Pasha, and my fun crew that I hang out with in the summer. Why are you laughing like that when I said Pasha?
I'm laughing when you said I'm up in Vancouver because I want to get some work done, and I see your workbench right behind you. So I know that the boys' lunch will lead into some work. You know, Keith grinding over his desk and his papers and his pen.
Oh, yeah.
So that's good.
One of
Biz.
the
I'm glad
one of
you're
the
up
best
there.
hotels in the game, though. The Pac Rim.
Yeah.
I actually like that Weston Bayshore too that we always
Dude,
used to
that was
What do you mean it was grimy? We had that lunchroom that had it had everything, and they would have the best salmon we would have on the road. Like the fish here is to die for. And you could look out to the water, you could see the mountains in North Vancouver, and the fact that they always used to have us on the same floor. And this is during like the Coyotes heydays, and we were always that was when we made playoffs 3 years in a row. So we would always win and stick around for that. Like a couple of days, we would always make it like a home base, and we would go to the Roxy, we'd come back, like everybody's doors would be open, we'd all be hanging out on the floor, and it was just this was one of our awesome road cities that we would get to. I always felt like Jans, we were in Chicago and Nashville a lot, and Nashville was the one where all the veterans would come out because we had we had a lot of vets where they weren't out boozing like me every night. Like you would far and few between see them out having fun on the road, and that was even one where Donor would come out was in Nashville. So those were our hub cities. So
that's because like when we were younger, we were going to clubs, but then you go to Nashville, and I remember too being like the older guys are always out in Nashville, but it was just little bars,
That's true.
With great music. So it wasn't like the hero act scene that us young guys were into. It was like, hey, let's go grab a bar stool and listen to some sick live music from somebody that has a chance of ending up being like a famous musician. So there was a difference in the old guys' mentality in Nashville.
Yeah, I mean, I loved obviously both, but it's crazy to look back on the fact that I would go to clubs all the time. Like you couldn't catch me dead in a club. I was just at that charity event in Aspen, and they had like this a club set up for the one night. I was in there for 30 minutes. I was asking people if they had earplugs. Like, get me
Remember the one
here.
in Chicago we used to go to? I think it was called Underground.
Oh
And
yeah.
it was just an absolute
it was
war
like
zone in there.
Oh, buddy, you're sweating your cock off. It was just everything going on in there. But yeah, boys. Other than that, what do you want to get into now, Woody?
Well, I think we got to talk about the big announcement that broke over. I think it was Wednesday? Yeah, because it's Thursday right now. We're going to Netflix. We are going to Netflix. Pardon my take. The Ryan Russillo Show and Spittin Chiclets are now on our video going to be a part of Netflix. And kind of crazy when Dave called you and I, Biz. I want to say it was about 3 weeks ago. Maybe 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, a little longer.
Maybe a month ago. And just was like, hey, this is an option. Like, what do you guys think? And we were both blown away, right? Like, bunch of questions right away and kind of curious. Like, whoa, I didn't even know Netflix was in the podcast game. But just the fact that, like, we started this thing. Biz wasn't there. RA, myself, Grinnell, we had as what Grinnelli called a hand-me-down.
Yeah.
Now, it was a hand-me-down GoPro camera. When he wrote HAMMY, I thought it was a typo, but then I was like, oh my God, this fucking idiot thought that hand-me-down was hand-me-down. Now, when you say it, you really can kind of understand what he's going through. But
Rolls
he
off
replied
the tongue and brain, nice.
I think at 6 p.m. I tweeted, I can't stop thinking that Mike Grinnell thought hand-me-down was hand-me-down. And he said Plymouth State education, so a little shot at his school.
I've
that
got
was
more
the dumbest.
text about this than anything we've ever done with Spittin Chiclets. Like my 10-year career here, people are just baffled that I thought it was hand-me-down. Have you guys ever written out hand-me-down? I never have.
I'm with you on this, G.
No, this was one G where I thought, like, you got made fun of, no doubt.
Oh, yeah.
But there was more comments than I thought. Like, oh, I kind of thought that was it as well.
I didn't skip a beat after I read it, and if anything, I think they should change it.
You don't count.
They should change it to hand-me-down.
Agreed. I think I'm right.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's almost like your trailer park moment. Your trailer park.
I somehow
boys
lost
reference.
this. I'm now the loser in this convo. But you three are all idiots, so I still know that I'm winning. Prep school, BU 3 years, grade point average, not necessarily phenomenal, but I knew it was hand-me-down. So I'll stick to my guns and say that I'm still correct, but you guys can live in your world of hand.
There's a lot of English things that I get. I used to think it was 2 peas in a pot, where it's 2 peas in a pod, like because they're in those pods.
Yeah.
So I guess that's an easier one than hand-me-down. Like that one is kind of like that's borderline R word.
So G, very funny, very funny.
Can't say that.
In a big announcement, and like in anything these days, there's people who I think were saying, hey, congratulations, like great for you guys, and there was people who were furious, big mad, as they say. Biz, I'm kind of going to throw it to you first. Like,
sure. Kind
of explain your thoughts and where we're at right now.
Yeah, so I don't think we should give like the time and attention right off the hop to maybe like the 10% of people who somehow don't have Netflix and who, I guess you would question like someone being a fan if they're not happy for you when you're having success and you're building towards bigger and better things. We'll get to talking about that afterward, but I guess my brain first off just kind of went to being thankful and grateful for the people on our team and our staff. Like, I remember when Erica Nardini, who's no longer with Barstool, and Gaz and some people behind the scenes recommended that we start putting our podcast on video, and obviously
I was furious. I was furious when that happened. I remember being like, no, I don't want my face.
We're going to lose followers.
I'm disgusting.
Yeah.
I have to then like somehow look decent. Like I still can't do it, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I got to put this baked potato
we had a few
on
years.
camera.
Yeah. It's a podcast.
Yeah. And then obviously like G being the producer, having to act on that and it putting more work on his plate, and as well as, Memes, who has been along for a while, Pasha, Fish, Nick, Berta, like the whole crew that we currently have, Julia, who helps with Pink Whitney. So RA, Yans, like everyone who's on our team, right? So that's first where my mind went, to be thankful and grateful for all you guys. And then my thought went to like, how are we even in this position? Barstool in general, right? And the people who before the company was as big as it is now, who helped lay the foundation, like the foreplay guys, Riggsy, Trent, and Frankie, who were there since the beginning, the Chicks in the Office girls, the list goes on and on. I mentioned Gaz. Like, you guys could think of a million more people who have been involved at Barstool from the beginning, who, once I said, brick by brick, obviously Dave being the centerpiece of all that, and finding all this talent that have helped grow this company to the size that it is now, to eventually put us in the situation that we're in now, to get linked up with Netflix. And I couldn't be more grateful for the opportunities in the doors that I think it's going to open moving forward. And I think that it is going to happen. And along with putting Sandbaggers on there, Chiclets U. Now, I know there's a lot of questions from our hardcore fans, like what's going to happen with those. Those Sandbaggers, Chiclets U, the vlog, game notes, all of that in video form will remain on YouTube. So you can go watch that and consume that for free. Also, I feel like a lot of the people that do complain, especially with us moving to Netflix, are also the same people that were complaining about YouTube ads because they didn't pay for YouTube Premium. Well, once again, that solution can be solved by you paying for a premium product on that platform to avoid all those ads that constantly come up while you're consuming that.
That aren't
content.
even ours. That's YouTube.
That's YouTube, right? But once again, like, I just want to thank all the support from all the people who have been with us since the beginning, and once again, all the Barstool staff. And I'll hand it over to you or Jans if you want to keep. And it's also not just the talent who have helped us lay the foundation from a Barstool perspective. It's when we go do the Chiclets Cups, live event, Lisa and her whole staff, and all those people who help with that. All the people who helped set up our Pink Whitney events, all the people who like the Spiders, the Larges, like you could probably name off 50 more people off the top of your head who have helped us get to this point from Barstool and the army that it is. So I just want to express my gratitude to all those people on that side who have helped facilitate us, and the fact that we've been able to grow even before Netflix happened. So I'll hand it over to Jans and you before we kind of dive into the hate, so to speak.
When you guys called me, and obviously I'm new to this, I'm small fish, big pond, but I couldn't have been more proud of you guys, just what you put into this, what you've given us. I was a fan before, and I think it's such an amazing opportunity for everyone involved. And it'd basically be like getting a call to play in the NHL if you were in some random league and you just said no. Like this is an opportunity you got to take. Like, Netflix is such a huge player in the game, and I think it's amazing, and I think you guys deserve a lot of credit and for what you've done and what you've given back to hockey, what you've given fans every single week. So I think it's something you should be super proud of yourselves for, and really be happy.
And Whit, the KFC radio, like Feidelberg,
The first pod.
What's that?
The first pod.
They were the first
Barstool.
ones, right? KFC, obviously, Pardon My Take, Big Cat, all those guys. Like, so PFT. I can't keep snapping the love around more to the love around to the guys and girls at Barstool.
Yeah, and in terms of snapping the love around, I was thinking about this last night. So all of us, our dreams came true of reaching the NHL, right? Like, and when you look back at the end of your career, there are many people that you owe thanks to, and you see different speeches, whether it's a Hall of Famer or somebody who played 5 games in the NHL. Like, their dream came true, and there's people who helped them along the way. But a lot of times, most of that, like, ability to get to that level is within you. And it's what you did, and it's what you put in, and it's what you sacrificed, and it's all those things that, while getting help, no doubt, you were the one that got it done. This second career of ours is the opposite, where without you guys listening right now and watching, we really are nothing. So you look back at the NHL, and like, I take a lot more credit for what I did playing hockey than what I've done as a podcaster, because without you guys, there's literally nothing. There's no pod, there's no anything. It's just, it was an idea and a thought that turned into something that's beyond my and Keith and Biz's wildest imagination. I hope you know we're being honest. Like when at least personally, this thing started, I was literally going over to RA's to shoot the shit about hockey just to get out of the house. I didn't have kids. I didn't know what I was going to do. All right, well, this is something. And I was a Barstool fan, and I don't know, like not a plan, not an idea, not even a thought to make any money. Like I truthfully telling you that. And then as it progresses and it gets bigger and Biz hops on, it's like, wow, we have something pretty special here. And all the guys have done interviews, but I come back to the fans and more fans and more fans, and a guy telling his buddy and another guy telling another buddy. And all of a sudden, like, we've grown up as podcasters and as people in our second careers with you as fans. So when we got this news and we got this opportunity, like, I'm not going to sit here and say that me and Biz didn't think like, oh, like it kind of does like screw over if you don't have Netflix, some of the people who watch on YouTube. Now, I'll also go into the fact that I've always thought it's kind of crazy, and this is me personally, that like people watch podcasts. Now, thank God they do, because that's why we do what we can, and we're able to now go to Netflix, and that's how so many podcasts have become successful. But I listen to them, and this was an audio podcast. That's how it began. That's how it ran. And then as video became the thing, we obviously got into YouTube. But I don't want you to think that we didn't sit around and say like, oh, some people are going to be rattled. But at the same time, like, for me, if I was a fan of something or someone, and they kept growing and they kept moving and they made a move that maybe I didn't agree with, I wouldn't then say like, oh, fuck it, sellout, fuck it, scumbag. Some of the messages I've gotten, and this is a vocal minority. I as Biz said, I'd be happy for them. I might be bummed out a little bit, but I'd be happy. And the fact is that, like, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, like, there wasn't way more money involved. Like, we got paid more money. Like, that's a fact. Now, G's going to make more money. Pasha's going to make more money. Merle's, Army, everyone's going to make more money. Like that, we're going to make more money. And if you're sitting around calling me a sellout, all right, I'm a fucking sellout then. I don't give a fuck. I really don't. I'm saying that in telling you how much I appreciate every single person who's ever watched this show, who's ever tuned in, whoever has commented, liked, watched, subscribed. It doesn't matter. Now, sometimes like you kind of agree to disagree. And if you now hate us so much that you don't want to watch anymore, that sucks. And I'm bummed out to hear it, but that's your decision and I respect it. And if you want to keep riding with us and you want to get Netflix, or you'd rather just maybe listen to the audio instead, thank you so much. We appreciate it. But you can never please everyone. And this is something that came from nothing, that has turned into something very special, that I will think of myself more as one of the hosts of Spittin Chiclets when I'm 70, 80 years old, God willing, than I will that I was a hockey player. So I'm very long-winded here.
No, you've been breaking this down unreal, dude.
I just want to say thank you to everyone. And if you're upset, I am sorry. I'm not saying sorry, not sorry. I'm sorry, but we made a decision. I hope you still ride with us. That would mean the world to us. And if you don't, no hard feelings.
No hard feelings. It's just
no
like, it's more about the nasty message coming back, like you said, where it's like, oh, so we've gone to 2 a week. We got all these guys behind the scenes grinding their cocks off, and then you expect them to just like not take this opportunity. And it also like it wouldn't just be leaving an opportunity to like make sure these guys are taken care of financially, where we're hoping it opens up the door to get, you know, better interviews, maybe more opportunities for different guests, for sandbaggers. Maybe that gets amplified and we do more of them. G's been doing these Chiclets U's that have been doing great as far as views. Like maybe they're interested in that and they're willing to fund more of those types of trips for him to go do, so you can consume more. And also, like, we're not holding a gun to your head and say sign up for Netflix, like just to listen and watch our podcast. Like there are so many more talented actors and shows and things that Netflix has to offer outside of our podcast. And another thing too, it's like we also made the decision based on the fact that 80% of our listenership overall, so including if it was video form and or audio, are listening on audio. And then also assuming that like 70% of the population has Netflix. So like yeah, there's a small percentage of you that are quote unquote getting hosed, but it's like, if you're that big of a fan and you're happy for us and our success, like if you don't want to buck up and pay the $15 a month in order to support us, we're okay with that. But coming in with the mud to slander the fact that that everybody's hard work shouldn't be rewarded, I just don't think that you're honest in saying that you wouldn't be doing the same. And that's kind of where
Biz,
that's where you lose me.
That's perfectly well said. And like Biz mentioned, like Sandbaggers and everything else, it remains on YouTube. Ideally for us, we bring those over to Netflix. Not exclusively though. Those will forever be on YouTube. That's free. And the Chiclets U and the vlogs and also like our Twitter. And maybe everyone's not on Twitter, but like Instagram and Twitter, all of our clips from the shows and the interviews are still on there. And I think a lot of people kind of consume a lot of our content on the clips. So Biz, I like what you said. Like if you hate us now, I honestly, I'm not being rude. I don't care.
I don't give a fuck.
And I wish you didn't. But like, good luck to you. No hard feelings. And we're not going anywhere. We're still going to be bringing you the best content we can.
And there might be, I believe that Netflix has about 90 million users. Like people that have signed up, like on average.
I think maybe that's just in North America too.
Wow.
Maybe that's just in North America.
Nationwide.
So the amount of exposure that it might bring to hockey with us being on there now, where people are like, oh, like what's going on over here? That we also look at that like an opportunity. So I just don't really, I can't reason with you if your idea is that we're kind of hosing you if you're that 5 to 10% of the minority that are like extremely angry about this. Because let's keep in mind here, like we started this as a just audio podcast in which once again, you're getting free on all platforms. You're still getting the Sandbaggers. You're still getting the Chiclets U's. You're still getting all the clips on social media, which we're doing. So literally we're taking one thing, quote unquote, away for you that you can still pay to go watch, which also provides you all these other amazing things that this company was willing to buck up and pay us for the work that we're putting in. And once again, we've went from 1 to 2 a week, and we're bringing you a lot of entertainment, or at least we try. So I feel like we've been long-winded, but pretty reasonable and rational about this.
And if I could just say something for the behind the scenes guys, like when you're in film school and you're learning how to edit, the NHL is Netflix. Like that is such a pipe dream. It's something that you almost never feel is achievable. And when I called all of our guys to tell them, hey, we're doing Netflix, like the excitement in their voices was just something that made me so happy. And it should make all of our fan bases happy because like this for me, and I can speak for the guys behind the scenes, this is a dream come true. Like our work is going to be on Netflix. Like that's what we worked our entire life for. That's why Fish went to the best film school in America. That's why Pasha went to an unbelievable film school in Vancouver. Like we worked our asses off for this. So for us, it's a dream come true. So anyone out there that's not happy for us, I just feel sorry for you because we're living our dreams right now and we couldn't be happier.
And some of them are saying with like woke, oh, you're working with Netflix. Some of these people, man, they live in this they live on this hamster wheel. And they they're just angry and they want to bitch about it. Oh, you're associated with this company, and they didn't like one thing this company did at one certain point of time. So if you associate with them, then I'm never listening to you again. It's like, man, get off your hamster wheel. You got some major brain issues.
They do allow nudity though, right? Netflix announced nudity, so Biz.
Well, I'll be doing helicopter cock and manginas on the next
bomb
Sandbagger.
On the first episode.
Yeah, there you go.
A live piss bomb on Netflix.
Yeah.
I thought you made a good point just about like the community of the fans that we have. Like I can't see a world that, everyone isn't like the true riders aren't happy for everyone because like you said, it's growth and it's just bettering ourselves and it's going to better the product, right? And it's going to be better listening for them. So at the end of the day, man, it's fucking a huge, unbelievable opportunity and you guys should be pumped.
And like Biz, there are some people and it honestly like makes me sad. It makes me feel really bad that are just they're down in the dumps. They're not happy with the way their lives are going and they choose to kind of like spread it's not hate necessarily, it's just spread being miserable as opposed to just trying to like live life the right way. And I'm not saying everyone who's not going, who are going through things, it's not easy, but there's a lot of people I could sense from the comments I was getting that just kind of miserable people, and they're just looking to make other people miserable. And it brings me to my other point. Boys Week. Do you remember a couple weeks? Do you remember weeks ago I had Boys Weekend? And I screamed, Breeze in Hawaii for 6 days right now. Boys Week. So we're going ham. We're going ham right now. And she left a note, and it was a great note. It was to the boys in the morning, and it said, be kind, work hard, choose joy. And I was like, I texted her, I go, you're a fucking animal. You're a rock star. It's just a writer read it, and he was like, he loved it. I could tell it sparked his day. So that's what we're going with. That's the Boys Week motto. Thank God the rink's ready. And
that's a babysitter. That's a babysitter.
I'm out here grinding. This morning, got Ryder up, got him to the bus. He's like 30 minutes from here, so he takes a bus to school. Then I got Wyatt, came back, got Wyatt to school. Then I got Cal over to he goes to like a little play area place, a couple days a week. Then I came back, I gave Yoshi his medicine. I stuck it in a piece of chicken, so he usually spits it out, but I was able to master it within the chicken where he ate his medicine. Then I took him for a walk, and at this point it's 9, and I'm like, I have crushed this day so far. You want to give medals out, you want to have Netflix come on and bring you onto their network. That's what you do in the morning as a father of 3 young boys.
That's why you have that coffee cup that says #1 dad right there.
I also have this coffee cup, which brings us in to a team that's buzzing.
Can I say one last thing though, Whit? Squeaky wheel gets the grease, and I know we just gave a little bit of time and attention to the people bitching, but to regurgitate your comments about thanking the original ride or dies and all the people who have followed us and supported us along the way, I think this is a win for all of us, and
we're happy for us too. That said congrats.
Yeah, and I look at this as an opportunity to not only prove the haters and the naysayers wrong, but continue to amplify the product for those people who have supported us. And the work starts now. Every time we've hit these little milestones, it's not like we've taken our foot off the gas. We're just going to continue to try to bring more and better stuff to our fans who support us. So I'm sorry to the people who don't want to buck up the $140, $150 a year in order to support something you supposedly love. But you could still listen to it on all of our channels from an audio standpoint.
And you don't have to look at us.
And you don't have to look at our
perfect.
Exactly.
So, guys, and real quick, we did mention when we were talking about Netflix Chiclets U, we did just drop a new Chiclets University episode. It's with UConn, Toscano Family Ice Arena. $73 million they just put into this bad boy. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's brand new. I believe they opened it in 2023. Joey Muldowney gave us the tour. Names sound familiar. Second in the country last year in scoring. So very excited. Go check it out right now on the Spittin Chiclets YouTube channel. And it's Coach Kavanaugh. That was actually the one big takeaway I wanted to discuss is Coach Kavanaugh was absolutely incredible. Just so impressive, the program he's built. He infamously was at Boston College, recruited Kevin Hayes, recruited Jimmy Hayes. So just an unbelievable guy. He's built an unbelievable program. So very, very excited. Fish, we can actually just roll the trailer here, and then you guys can move on.
Huskies out 3, family on 6. 1, 2, 3. Huskies 4, 5, 6. Family.
They gave us the resources to really elevate everything we do here.
I want you to come here, develop, and make $10 million.
Here at UConn, they got it all.
Now it's time for hockey talk.
Boom. You're right, Biz. Hockey talk. And that's why I want to just give an incredible congratulations to not only Leon Draisaitl, but the entire city of Edmonton and every person that's loyal to the Oil around the world. This is a global brand, Biz, the Edmonton Oilers. You know why? They're the first team in NHL history with 5 players to get 1,000 points with their team.
Unreal.
That is the type of team we're talking about. That is a truly great franchise that, while having some dark years that unfortunately was while I was there, have had many, many more magnificent, incredible seasons with players that you couldn't even dream up in your mind. AI couldn't create some of these players. And Leon Draisaitl is one of them. And I want to shout out Jason Gregor, a good buddy of mine who's in Edmonton. He has a podcast on Daily Face Off. He's got a radio show. He's dialed in, knows the game. His nephew's Noah Gregor, who's on the Florida Panthers this year. Oh, actually, Keith, congrats. You won the 50-50 last night.
Oh, yeah, that's crazy.
That's fucking insane. That is absolutely ridiculous.
That was so fucking
if
funny.
If you would have won it at an Edmonton game, you could retire. Well, not like
I
you
know.
can, 'cause you're
Well,
already a
he made like
gazillionaire.
$85 million, so he could have retired
I guess
already.
you could. Yeah,
That's what all the trainers, when we'd be in the Canadian cities, they'd all like get the pot together because the 50-50s are out of control in Canada, right?
Wasn't it like $8 million for one of the Cup final games last year?
I think it was something crazy.
It was crazy. Edmonton's always been great franchises, great 50-50s. So I mentioned Jason Gregor. He wrote an awesome article. He went back into Leon Draisaitl's entire life. He interviewed his mom, his dad, his sister, a bunch of teammates, all of his former coaches for Edmonton. So whether it was Ken Hitchcock, Todd McClellan, what's his name that was in Anaheim?
Tippett.
No, yeah, Tippett. And then who's the guy who took away the donuts?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Daryl?
Nice hair.
What the heck?
Oh, God.
Jeez,
Come on,
wait.
boys. We
He had the unreal hair. What the fuck?
Yeah.
was his name?
Fuck.
Dallas Eakins.
Dallas Eakins. Wow.
Jesus, Dallas.
Nice
That's not you. That's us. But the article's sick, and it was talking about. So I didn't know his dad was a very good player. Played for Germany in the '98 Nagano Olympics. Played, in the league over there, and he was just obsessed with hockey from a young age. Like his mom's talking about that he would sit in full gear at 2.5 and just watch games and just watch hockey. And it's like, it kind of made me think that, and I think I mentioned this last week or a couple weeks ago, that while 98% or 95% of the NHL aren't these generational talents, Hall of Fame superstars, and maybe fall in love with the game at 12 or become great at 13. The true superstars, the Sids, the McDavids, the Leons, the McKinnons, they are born with it, and you kind of know right away. I'm sticking by this. Like when I read this about him and all the stuff about Sid and McDavid playing against 11-year-olds when he's 6 or 7, like the greatest of the greats, and Gretzky as a little kid shooting on his grandmother, like they are born with it, and they are created in a lab that is somehow their mother's stomach as well. So Leon was one of those
called
kids.
the placenta.
A placenta. Very
good job, Busy.
Some women actually like turn the placenta into pills after and eat the placenta, Biz.
Yep.
Do you know that?
No comment.
Well, go check out that.
It's literally my
article,
multivitamin.
But the way he did it in Pittsburgh, I was very fired up for that game Tuesday night.
Oh yeah.
Because Sid, I think at that point Sid was 2 or 3 away from tying Mario. That is just something that Penguins fans, like, you drafted him and he turned into this Mount Rushmore hockey player, but you still would have been like, oh, I don't think he's touching Mario's record for points, and he's gonna break it. He's probably gonna crush it, especially if he remains there his entire career. So you had that, and you had McDavid on this run, and Leon looking for his 1,000th point. And what do you know? It's Jarry versus Skinner.
Unreal.
And the puck goes in, and they're celebrating. Now, I, as an Oilers fan, I can even admit, I was like, you're emptying the bench for 1,000 points now?
Absolutely.
Keith's comment was that the entire arena of fans should come on the ice for 1,000 points.
Wow,
That's how ridiculous
for
it
100
is.
goals. Fucking. I got everybody in the Hall of Fame, right? Like you should be celebrating these types of achievements, Jans.
100%. Like the work that's gone in, the years of staying healthy, like not to mention the guy's still only what?
He's
I think he's
30,
22.
He's 30 years old. Like, I mean, he's still on a good clip here. Like, and we got a lot more years. Hopefully his next 1,000 points, I'll go on the ice for that as well. But it's just one of those things where I'm sure the player doesn't love it, like, because all hockey players are kind of, built from the same cloth. They don't want that attention on them. But as a teammate in biz, that like when other guys get accolades, it's your teammates. When you see how happy they are, when they're celebrating you, like I'll never forget when I played my 1,000th game. Like you see, guys are just like giving you a hug because they know what it takes and stuff like that. Like even when Shane Doan, he finally got a hat trick. Remember?
Dude, I was just gonna mention that.
And then Mike Smith, when he got a goal, we went out that night like we won the Stanley Cup. It was like those are some of my funnest nights of just like when your teammate does something that 95% of the league is never going to do, and you're a part of it. It's the coolest thing, and that's what I love about the game. And I love the fact that you're old man yelling at cloud that you don't like that, but it's I think it's so
I was just like, whoa,
cool.
I didn't expect it. I didn't expect it.
Oh,
and the
it was
fact
your
that
dad
Skinner's
who said
there,
it?
Biz. The facts, what?
Was it your dad who said it?
No, he's calling me old man yelling at the cloud.
Oh,
I was
okay.
like,
So
we're coming off the bench for 1,000 points.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I think that any chance you get to celebrate anything in life, you do it, especially that. And I just think that you could just tell the morale is so high. And they had those T-shirts teed up with the cigs ready to go. So that's what I think actually the boys are more excited about. We're smoking the Jimmies after the game. But I agree with you. And he's also like, he's made that organization and a lot of those guys' lives very easy in the fact that he's helped carry them to back-to-back Stanley Cup finals and just the – you talk about those types of players and they're so hyper-focused and they put every fiber of their being into being the greatest hockey player, and you know how much it means to him, but yet they don't like the attention like that. So it's just remarkable how these guys are built and how they're programmed. And sure enough, after that morale boost, what does McDavid do the next shift? Like probably less than 10 seconds later, 10-2 and around the fucking D-man and boom to the back end of the net for Draisaitl's 1,001 point. So first ever German player to do it. So that also has to mean a lot for him, for his country and where he came from in order to put them on the map like he's continued to do. And just like the evolution of German hockey, like, there's more and more guys coming up, right? And he's one of those guys. He's going to be Germany's Gretzky. He is already. He is already German player ever. So that has to just mean so much to him coming from where he came from, and it was remarkable to see. I couldn't be happier for the guy. And hey, it goes back to some guys get it all. Fucking, he is one handsome. He is a stallion. I would never let my wife in a room alone with that guy.
Some of the most underrated hair in the game too. His hair is always looking amazing.
Facial hair, the hair.
Yeah,
probably got an absolute baseball bat for a horn. He's gone.
Talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, and he could probably do a piss bomb because he's European. But he, one of the coaches, it might have been McClellan, said what he loved about him was he'll play any way. Like he's like, all right, you're running into a night where a team's like, let's skill this thing up. I got it. And hey, we're running into a team that's like, we're gonna muck it up, and this is gonna be a battle zone. I got that too. And I kind of thought about it after, like he's so big and like dominant. But he fucking takes hits to make plays. He drags guys in, and then the backhand, his ability on the backhand, probably after, I'm going to give it to Crosby, obviously. After that, I think the best player in the world on his backhand, partly to do with him having a legit like 2x4 as a stick and a blade. But like even his mom was talking about, he's like 5 years old, and he would just like take the top of he'd take a bottle cap and then like find a stick. He'd be just like shooting the bottle cap, stick handling the bottle cap. When he had time off, his dad's like, what do you want to do? They'd go to random parking lots and like put a net, and he would just shoot and stick handle balls at like 7 years old. Like you said, Biz, put every single part of his life into this game. And so to see that happen and to see the player he is, and to also talk to Oilers fans, if you do, I mean, he's third overall pick. It was he was after Reinhart. Who was first that year? Ekblad, maybe?
Eki, yeah.
Eki, Reinhart, him. I think the Oilers were like, excited, third pick, but they didn't expect this. Like nobody could have expected this. He left home. He left his town, Cologne, Biz. He still hasn't actually come out with the Cologne line. That's an all-time Chiclets moment where Biz, if anyone didn't know, looked at his Google page or his bio and saw Cologne, Germany, and then randomly was like, I think he's starting a Cologne because he saw the word Cologne. Very funny moment.
Should have started Cologne.
At 13, he's like, I have to leave. Like, it's not good enough here. I want to go to Mannheim, which was 3 hours away. In the article, it says with two teammates, they got an apartment. They were 13 years old. Like, kind of crazy to me, but that's like
that's where he learned how to smoke.
Well, he had a full fucking beard and a fucking baseball bat. So I mean, yeah.
And then he
They're
went
like,
on
no,
to
you don't
have,
need proof of insurance. We trust you.
And then in the article, it says that year had 29 goals and 97 assists, which is kind of crazy. Like 29 and 97 now on the Oilers, like the foreshadowing. Wow. Very random, like the stats to the numbers of him and McDavid. But Pittsburgh and Edmonton, it's been a hammer and nail type rivalry. Like Edmonton dominates them, and not only did Draisaitl get his 1,000th point and first and 1,002 points that game, good English. I believe McDavid passed Crosby in that game for most 4-point games by active players. It was McDavid's 44th career 4-point game. So it's like, kind of forgot that McDavid, I think, is third or fourth fastest to 1,000 points in NHL history. And Leon's like top 20 in the league. So just generational players that we get the chance to watch.
And you know, how many more are McDavid going to have? And speaking about both of them too, like as much as they get points on one another's goals and they play power play together, they're both of their abilities to play with other guys that maybe might not be up to their standard, but yet still get it done and elevate their play is pretty remarkable. Like even like the way that he's taken Podkolzing under his wing, Leon, and like now sometimes Podkolzing's going to his spot where he scores off to the side near the goal line. So I just think it's remarkable the way that these high-end guys are able to elevate their teammates. And another thing I saw too, and I don't think this was AI generated, but maybe I'm getting spoofed here, but obviously a tough situation between Stuart Skinner and the way that he was handled leaving town. Like that's probably not enjoyable. He's from there. Jarry, who's also from there, gets to go back. So they do the goalie swap, and that's probably the main topic of conversation going into that game that was on TNT the other night. But after the game, just the way that McDavid and Leon like embraced him and
they love him. You could tell.
Yeah, and it's just like obviously he's had
gone
his
to
struggles
war together.
And you talked about how when they get a save percentage above 900, how successful they are, and maybe how he has his struggles or has had good English too. You're fucking rubbing off on me, Whitty. It was just cool to see that, and that the love is not lost, and they'll be brothers for life. It just sometimes business is business. So thought Jarry looked good, and that was just a peppering by Edmonton on Pittsburgh.
Another thing quick on Leon, and I'm sure like Edmonton fans and true hockey fans, when McDavid's not even playing, he elevates his game to another level too. Like whenever McDavid's been out of the lineup, it's like, okay, obviously you miss him, but you miss him a lot less when you got a guy like Leon. So he's not a guy that's kind of rode anyone's coattails either. He's done it all himself and
it's Malkin Crosby. I know we don't have the 3 cups, but they are so similar in terms of like the way Malkin and Draisaitl play, and then the speed Sid had at a younger age, and he's changed his game. He's played 20 years, and McDavid has the speed. It's eerie how similar it all is. And just a little in-depth Oilers stuff. There was an article by Alan Mitchell in The Athletic. It was interesting because what did I tell you guys? And the Oilers are now on a run. The Oilers are now humming. What did I tell you needed to happen and would happen?
20 games, 40 points.
Okay, thank you. McDavid in December, he's got 7 games, he's got 20 points. So we're looking at possibly after 20 games, it might be 50-ish points based on what he's doing. He's in Boston tonight or last night for you guys listening on Friday. That could be that. I'm not going. Breeze in Hawaii, have fun. But yeah, that should be a good one. But the article by this Alan Mitchell guy, so his ice time's down. McDavid's ice time's down, and it makes a lot of sense. So it's down about a minute a game, even a minute and a half a game in December compared to October and November, and it just makes sense. And people are probably like, a minute and a half. It's like, dude, it adds up. It adds up, and your matchups are the toughest you're gonna get, and you get 90 seconds less a game. That's just more energy on the bench. The shape they're in, they're recovering quicker. And it kind of, I was surprised because I didn't know that. And that's kind of explained this just explosion he's on right now.
That's kind of one of my issues. Like sometimes you see Matthews up in the 21, 22 range where I'm like, bump that down. And the same goes the other way. Like I know Phillip Danault has now requested a trade out of LA where you notice sometimes the game sheet, he's in that like 15 and a half, 16 range where sometimes that extra minute and a half, 2 minutes, and that ice time you're not getting from your coach is irritating because that's you getting in your rhythm, a little bit more time in between shifts to not get in that offensive rhythm. So I'm telling you that the ice time thing is a very fickle conversation about how much you should get or shouldn't be given. And I agree with you. I think that Edmonton, especially how heavy they lean on them as the playoffs go on, the more you can conserve their energy now, the better. And if you have a well-built team, they shouldn't be playing 21, 22 minutes. They should be in that 19 range where they're more effective. What was the
especially
other thing?
in an Olympic year too, like the condensed
schedule. They don't
schedule.
really care about that, but yeah, I know.
But we talked about it earlier in the year when Minnesota was struggling, when Kaprizov was playing 24 minutes a night. It's like, man, when is too much? It's like you got to be at that perfect amount, and that's what takes a good coach to figure that out and implement that, and then the player can't get pissed off, right? Because obviously everyone wants to play the most that you can, but when the coach knows how many minutes you should be playing, your production that you're going to get, like that's a huge asset to have.
Whit, did you want to just quickly talk about Crosby about to hit 1,800 points? He would be the second fastest player all time to do so, other than Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah, I think it's a no-brainer now. I don't know if anyone thought 2,000 points would be touched. Sid's gonna get it. Connor's gonna get it. I mean, God, Leon's 30. Like, fuck, he might get it.
Yeah.
But it's just amazing to see, and it's now at the point though with Pittsburgh, the questions are going to come up again. Magical start. They've lost 6 in a row. I think 3 of them have been overtime or shootout losses where they're getting a point, but they are out of the playoffs right now. That kind of sucks to see because what had happened in Pittsburgh, and Muse comes in and Malkin was playing incredible. It's like, oh my God, like we're going to get another run here. We're going to get another, maybe not a run to the cup, but a playoff opportunity. They're struggling, and not having Malkin is bad news. They got to get him back healthy. But Sid is just, we've said it over and over and over again. It's like, it's just 20 fucking years of over a point per game. How do you even explain it?
A little mea culpa. He's a few points away from passing Mario. He's still a little bit away from hitting that 1,800 mark. But
yeah, what, 20?
No, he's at 1722 overall right now.
Oh, I thought it was 1780. Okay.
Yeah, well, I thought he was a little farther along too. That's why mea culpa. But
he's getting 2,000.
I think he's getting there too, no doubt. I actually think this won't be his last Olympics. That's my hot take.
Love it.
I think he's going to play.
Yeah, you've been saying that lately.
Well, buddy, you think he's going to let Marchand play past him? They're fucking buddies. They're training in the summertime.
Very true.
Nate's going to still be going. He ain't fucking retiring.
I know. Bunto on our group chat, Keith, was like, I can't believe Marchand has like 17 or 18, like whatever he had. I think he has 16, 17, 18
He's
goals.
got 19 now.
He's been incredible.
19. And also, I went on Pardon My Take. It's going to be out Wednesday. And it's their NHL preview. It's the earliest they've ever done their NHL preview. And he's like, all right, give me your cup finalists. And I'm like, obviously Edmonton, but I mentioned the Central. And then he's like, all right, what about in the East? And I was thinking, and I'm like, and based on the last 2 weeks, I think Florida's going back to the cup.
Yeah.
Like who? So, and I started talking to them. I'm like, all right, so Tampa, but they owned Tampa last year. Maybe it'd be a different story. Like, who's better than them? And then Kachuk's like going to be rested. And then if they get Barkov back, I think that it's going to be a rematch. I think it's going to be third time in a row. People are laughing at my Edmonton take, but who out there right now doesn't think Florida's going to do it? They look unbeatable again.
The biggest question is the West because how good the Central is. That's the only question. I think the East, if Florida's healthy,
Florida's done again.
They're going back.
They might have it again, Vince.
Yeah.
I actually, at this point now, would love to see a rematch again. I just got to see if McDavid and Draisaitl can beat the Florida Panthers. It would be. I think it would garner. I think it would be great for ratings.
Oh yeah,
that to me is where it's at. But let's hope the Leafs have something to do with it. You did mention the Crosby take about how he doesn't have the same speed as he once did, but how well he's been able to transform his game, which I think is one of the more underappreciated things about him. Like how how he finds ways to exploit the game. He's around the net doing those tip plays, and just how I compare him to the Tom Brady because it's like when you play quarterback, it's like he cracked the code. He's seen every single defense in the formation, and nothing coming at him is a surprise. And that's just where Sid is right now. He's playing with the house's money, and that's why I agree. I think he's hitting 2,000 points, and I think he's playing in another Olympics. So that's a remarkable thing about him.
And like when Sid came in, Keith, before you go, the way you see McDavid dart through the middle now and the speed that nobody can comprehend, that was Sid at the beginning.
Yeah.
He did the same exact thing. It was speed that nobody had ever seen before with the puck. So he had that.
Yeah, I was just going to say his adaptability, the way to, when he first came in the league, though, it was still like that tail end of the clutch and grab. Like he was playing against mutant demons, like the prongers of the world. Like you can go
Darian
on
Hatcher was in Philly.
Yeah, exactly. Playing against him 15 times a year. So, and then to play, when the game's gotten faster and he's gotten older and still being able to dominate the way that he does, like he's just the poster child of the NHL the last 20 years of what he's been able to do. He's put the league, him and Ovi put the league on their back when it was in dark times for a few years when we were on the OLN, and now look at us. It's unreal what they've done for the game.
And in Buffalo, lucky enough, before last episode, the news broke. Kevin Adams was out. Jarmo comes in, and he'd been there, but he gets the GM role. He spoke to the media for 20 minutes. It was actually after Pegula spoke to the media. Pegula took no questions. He hasn't taken a question from reporters since 2020, which I found kind of interesting.
I love that move.
It's just like, hey,
if I was a Billy Goat, I wouldn't either.
I'm the owner. I can hire 4,000 different people if I want to. I ain't ever taking your questions.
Were there people in the
room? They make the playoffs. Yeah, it's the whole media outlets there.
They all had COVID masks on.
And he speaks. Yeah, legit. But they'll clinch the playoffs at some point, Buffalo, you will, and he'll be like, question and answer with Terry Pegula tomorrow at 3 p.m. at the arena. But I didn't know Kekalainen's the first GM he's hired who was a GM previously. Kind of crazy. Because I think all the guys, Botterill was assistant GM and all that. So, all right, I'm going to go with the guy who's done this before. Kekalainen spoke for about 20 minutes. Some of the quotes that stood out was, we can make the playoffs this year. I mean, what else are you going to say? I mean, I don't necessarily agree with you, Jarmo, but he believes in that. And he said, I am looking at everyone. I'm not willing to commit to the coach. I'm not willing to commit to players. We have some great people in here who are awesome at their job, but everyone is under the microscope. And in terms of Alex Tuch, we have to have a number that works for both of us. I want to re-sign him. He's a great player. Grinelli wrote on the outline, you can hop on that you read that reportedly Kevin Adams leaked.
I don't know.
Where are you seeing that, bro?
That was like Sabres report. It's a pretty credible Sabres blog.
So their Sabres report, whoever they are saying that Kevin Adams told people that Alex Tuch is asking for more than Adrian Kempe?
Around the Adrian Kempe number. And once again, we can't confirm or deny that. I feel like the guy just lost his job and he's been through the meat grinder. So And we did talk about the fact that sometimes when you have an owner who's hands-on, it's not free reign, right? You have to okay a lot of things through him. So, and probably a reason why he'd never hired a GM who'd had experience before. All of a sudden, he gets to be the puppet master, right? So, I mean, the guy won't even answer questions, for Christ's sake. So, I don't know what type of truth there is to that. Now, on the flip side, I respect Alex Tuch and his abilities as a player. There isn't a lot of great free agents. Do you see him getting in the 11 range?
So what did Kempe got, 11 or 10?
He got 10-6 or something like that. But still, if he's looking for a little bit more of a bump, let's just assume the number's 11. Is that a 4 or 5 year deal? Is that an 8-year deal? What does that look like?
Maybe to stay in Buffalo, give him the 10, 11, but elsewhere I'd see it a little lower around the 9 range. But
I love the player. 29, he'll be turning 30 he'll be turning 30 before the season starts of this monster deal he's going to get. I don't mind giving him 10 on a shorter term, right? If somebody's given him 8 years at 10, I don't know how that's going to translate. Looking at his numbers, I mean, last year at 36 goals, 67 points, This year he's at 28 points, 31 games, 11 goals. Awesome player. I would love him on the Oilers.
Yeah.
The Wild fans would love him on the Wild. Everyone wants him this spring. That's a big ticket for a guy who's just based on stats and age going to regress a little bit over the course of that contract. So if it's 4 or 5 years and he's able to get $50 million, does he want way more term? A lot of times players do want the term. I don't know, though.
And does he feel like he could be part of the solution in Buffalo, which, going back to what you said about Kekalainen's comments, like, in last pod, I mentioned, like, fuck, it's kind of ugly if it continues the way it's been going, maybe trade off some of these guys. I'm totally fine with them keeping some of the core that they have there.
He's one of the guys I would want to keep. Put it that way.
Keep Tuck. I would keep Dahlin, although I want him in Toronto. Tage Thompson, who's on a ridiculous contract for the next how many ever years. Doan. Like, they have, I don't mind that Benson kid. They probably have about 6, 7, maybe stretch it to 8 pieces that I think are a good, solid foundation to create that core and build around. But we've been sitting here talking about that for a long time. So at what point is there a type of major change? Who knows what we'll see the rest of the season? They have been on a bit of a heater since we said that there's 0.0% chance that they're making playoffs. You just never know, but let's hope they're at least fighting till the end here and they're relevant enough to be in the conversation for the fans of Buffalo. But I'm going to take my comments away of trading some of those guys.
Yeah. I mean, you got to start somewhere, right? Like the guys you name, if you look at any team's roster and you have, 4 legitimate NHL stars, like they do, stars might be a little stretch, but like they got legit unreal players. Like, you have to start somewhere. They've done hey, let's get rid of guys. Those guys go on, win championships. They have to build within. You got to keep guys and you got to bring other guys in. Obviously drafting well, like you got to hit home runs on your draft. And I don't know, man. It's just dark times there. And you wanted, like we said last podcast, we want it to be good there just as much as the people of Buffalo.
Yeah, no doubt. So you're going to see some action there, and John Buccigross is teasing towards the Buffalo. I texted a buddy that's still playing, and he actually asked me who was Biz saying in the text about who he heard might get the job. And I mentioned it, and then I was like, I mentioned maybe Torts, and people have been saying that. And the guy said, we need Torts back in this league. So I kind of found that interesting. You guys never played for him, but that cracked me up. And I should have mentioned also, this is off of Buffalo when we were talking Pittsburgh. Biz, I know you're into investment, and you're big into real estate. How's the ROI, which is return on investment, for spending $900 million on the Penguins 5 years ago and selling them for $1.8 billion?
I was shocked at that is the lift that they made, but a really intelligent time to buy. And then you look at where franchise values are at, where I think that the NHL is not budging on their price of $2 billion to start a new team, like a new franchise. So what a fucking job by them to turn things around. It was a little shaky there at the beginning. Heard there was rumblings that they weren't paying Mario all that he was deserved off the hop. Like, I was hearing some pretty weird shit that was going on, but it was nice to see that they've completely right the ship. They've done right by everybody. They've got the good people in place that are there now. They're winning some games, definitely blowing some leads, but all things are systems go there on for the sale of $1.7 billion. So, wow, unbelievable.
Yeah, the
Smart move to sell it now too, because I mean, realistically, what if you get 5 more years of Sid? Like, you saw how it was after Mario, when Mario was going to leave. Like, it kind of went down a little bit. So it's a great move by selling it and getting that ROI.
I agree. I don't think there's going to be as big of a nut moving forward on these franchises. I think that too much has to go involved in real estate plays in order to develop the whole rink out. You got to do all the condos around it. So I don't know how many more opportunities there are to squeeze that type of lift off these teams. So good for them. Good for them to do that.
Yeah, it's
the rich
crazy.
Get richer.
Yeah, David Hoffman, the Hoffman family. So yeah, I I wonder. Then all of a sudden, though, you look at like everyone's contract there, like Dubas, like it's not the owner that hired you, right? Like that's a little bit similar to Kekalainen saying everyone's under the microscope. New owner can bring in whoever the hell he wants, but I think you talk to Penguins fans right now; they're pretty happy with Dubas. They loved what they got back in getting rid of.
Yeah, he's in the
Jarry.
content game.
Yeah, exactly.
What's not to love?
Exactly. So the big trade from Minnesota to Vancouver with Quinn Hughes going to Mini and Zeev Buium and Ogren and all the pieces going back to Van. So far, Minnesota, the power play with Hughes is a joke. I saw the Kachuk brothers, their podcast, and they were just calling him the best sifter. He had the best sifter in the league. People don't know. That's just like, you don't need a cannon. Literally get your shot about 18 to 24 inches off the ice, past the first guy, and then it's a straight up dream scenario for the guy in front because it's not going that fast and it's coming in at the perfect height to tip. And that's what Brady said. Quinn Hughes is the master of that. And obviously Makar's so good at that too. It's always a snapshot. But in what Zeev Buium looked like against New Jersey, it's a lot of excitement for the Canucks fans and like what they think could be Quinn Hughes in a couple of years, along with a bunch of other pieces. And he right now is kind enough to join us.
This episode of Spittin Chiclets is brought to you by Body Armor Flash IV. Flash IV delivers faster, longer-lasting hydration with over 2,000 milligrams of electrolytes and no artificial dyes, flavors, or sweeteners like those other drinks. None of the junk. So whether you're training, traveling, or just feeling the heat, work hard, hydrate hard with Body Armor Flash IV and grab yours today at a local 7-Eleven convenience store. Guys, I want to take a moment and talk about game time. There's nothing like hockey season. The first blast of cold air as you walk into the arena and the roar of the crowd after a big hit, breakaway goal, or maybe even a fight. It's electric, but getting there, it's another story. It's a pain. Queues, price jumps, getting logged out mid-click. All you want to do is be there, beer in hand, losing your voice with the crowd. And the Game Time app gives the advantage back to the fans. It's the hack for unlocking amazing tickets and experiences in a few taps. It's incredibly easy to use, and the Game Time guarantee means you can trust you'll get 100% authentic tickets on time and at the best price. Plus, fees are always included. So what you see is what you pay. This Saturday, Vancouver Canucks in town to play the Boston Bruins right now on Game Time. You can get into the building for under $100. Take the guesswork out of buying NHL tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app today and use code Chiclets for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHICLETS for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today.
Zeev!
What up?
Zeev, what's up, buddy? Where are you at right now?
We're playing the Islanders tomorrow, so the Garden City Hotel.
Oh, I've had a lot of great nights at the Garden City.
First off, you know, like, congratulations on that first game, dominant out there. Pretty sick to get a point that quick, but take us through the reaction, right? I know you were driving to go watch Denver play, and give us the breakdown of kind of the call with Billy G and your thoughts after.
Yeah, it was crazy. Obviously, a little bit of a surprise, and when Billy called me, actually, originally, I thought he was sending me down. Because I hadn't talked to Billy in a while, and then he was like, "Hey, I got bad news," and like no trade or anything had ever gone like that wasn't going through my head. I was like, "Oh God, I'm about to get sent down." But yeah, no, I mean, obviously, tough phone call, and I think when you get drafted and everything, you think you're going to be in that place forever, and you buy into everything and the culture, and wanting to win there, and kind of got to see the business side of it pretty quickly. So it was obviously crazy, and didn't really know how to feel at first with just with all the news, but very excited for the opportunity here with the Canucks, and I think there's opportunity for me, and it's going to be kind of cool to see this team grow, and obviously really thankful for everything Minnesota did. I know it was a short period of time, but kind of kickstarted my NHL career, and yeah, I mean, I couldn't be more thankful for Billy and everybody there. I think, like I said, a short period of time, had friends for a lifetime. And, like I said, I couldn't thank Billy enough for everything.
How long does a phone call like that take? Like, are you able to share with what he said? And like, it's just got to be so hard. You're such a stud that he drafted, and he was probably so excited about it.
I don't think I'll share it all, but I think, I think he was very honest and, told me it's a hard call to make. And I mean, yeah, I think we both, like, he was so great to me through everything, not just hockey wise, but off this, he was great to my family. And, like I said, he was just unbelievable to me throughout the entire time. And, I understood right away though, I'm like, it's Quinn Hughes, it's like, you got to take a chance on this guy. They want to win now. They have a vision, and, I respect it, like I'm not like sitting here all like pouty or anything. Like it's it's a business at the end of the day, and, you have to do what you feel is best for the team. And, I guess, I feel like I'm understanding of that for sure.
Zeev, first off, happy Hanukkah. Hope you're enjoying the first couple days of it. But going back to the trade too, like for you going to Vancouver, like now you're the guy, right? Like in Minnesota, you're young. Faber's been there a little bit. You're not playing, top power play and stuff like that. Then you go to a team where you're going to be the guy there for a long time, and you get traded for one of the best defensemen in the game. So even mentally for you, like that must have been like, okay, this team really wants me. They got rid of one of these guys. Like I'm going to go there. I got a little bit of a chip on my shoulder, and I'm going to go there and show what I have and bring your game to Vancouver.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think, you kind of said it best, like, you don't necessarily want to get traded, but I think when you get traded for a guy like Quinn and you're the only D in it, it's like, you kind of look at the bigger picture of it going, okay, maybe, I can come here and be that guy and bring that element to it. And, I believe in myself. I'm confident in myself that I can be that and, work toward that. But, yeah, I mean, I think that's the cool part is kind of like you said, I mean, Minnesota, you have so many great, Brody and Spurgeon, Faber. It's like they're so good, and it's like there wasn't really much room for me to like do the things I want to do necessarily. I think not playing those big minutes, getting taken off the power play here and there. It's like there's a lot, that I think that, like I said, I think it's just different too. Like Minnesota is a very veteran team. Like when now there's not a lot of little detail things that, you might be going like even here with Vancouver, there's a lot of, we're such a young team. So it's like, there's so many little things that we go over as a team and as a group of young guys. And it's like, we weren't doing those things in Minnesota just because it's, like I said, it's a veteran team and these guys had been through it already. So, I think it's like I said, it's a great opportunity for me. Very excited. I mean, we were in Vancouver a couple weeks ago, and it's a beautiful city. So, like I said, it's not easy, and it's not, it was a little bit of a whirlwind, but, the guys here have been great too. So I'm just excited.
Biz, when you asked him, how long the conversation was when I got traded by the meanest man in hockey, Bob Murray from Anaheim to Edmonton, he called me. I go, hello? He goes, hey, Ryan, it's Bob Murray. I traded you. I go, where? He goes, Edmonton. I go, bye. And he hung up. It was legitimately 7 seconds. I don't think it was like Billy G telling you, dude, you're going to be one of the best defensemen in the league. We had to do this. But, Zeev, one thing about and I was traded twice, and the shock and like maybe the disappointment. But then after the first game, it's kind of like over with. And for you played so well. By the time you're showering up and getting dressed in Jersey, like you must have been like, all right, like I fucking played a ton. I played well. Like right away, it's pretty quick for how excited you are for the next spot, right?
Yeah, 100%. I think, it makes it easier that the game went well. Obviously, I mean, got a little bit of a lucky bounce on my goal, but
they all count.
Yeah, they don't ask how. That's no matter.
You don't need Canucks Twitter getting on you early. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but it's good. I mean, I think, for sure. After the first game, it was nice to kind of get that under, and even last game, get another win. It's like, it's nice. So it's been easy, transition. I mean, I think, for me, the way I look at it is like, Billy had to do what he had to do. And for me, it's looking forward and, focusing on this opportunity and, just really appreciating that, I get to be here and do this and, try to become, a part of this rebuild.
Zeev, I think the first time we talked to you was just after you'd been drafted, and we knew you were going to be a special player just from talking to you and how obsessed you are with the game and how much you're going to put into it. Now, one of the things I noticed and I read was when you moved on, you took the number 24 to show respect to Bogosian, who was probably your mentor while you were in Minnesota. Maybe just talk about that. You talked about the veteran group. Like, talk about what they meant to you and what I guess they instilled and taught you early in your NHL career, only playing like 30 games.
Yeah, they were phenomenal. I mean, it's such a great group over there. Like, they're seriously one of a kind. I think you hear that a lot about like Minnesota is like their culture and the veteran group and how great they are. And they really are. Like, even from the playoffs last year, like you just come in, you can be yourself and they don't care, that you're 19 years old or 20 years old. Like, they just want you to be a part of it. And, I mean, it's just amazing. Like, every single guy there, wants to be your best friend. They want to help you in any way possible. I think, with Bogo, me and Bogo got really, really close, I think, through that time. I mean, he's one of a kind. He's such a special human. He's just a fun guy. Like he's such like he's, what is he, 35, 36. He's played, I was telling my dad that he played for, Atlanta when he first came. My dad was baffled that he played for a team that's not even a team anymore. So like, it's crazy how long he's been in the league and, what he's been able to do. And you see why, he has so much respect around the league just through guys, just because of the person he is. And, I mean, he took me under his wing, always invited me to his house for dinner and just never treated me like, I'm this young guy that needs to figure it out. It's like just treated me as one of the guys and, wanted me to be a part of it and wanted me to not miss out on anything because I think, he knows that at the end of the day, you'll remember the stories and the good times and the laughs, over any hockey games unless you really win a cup. So it's like, I really appreciate him for all that. But then you also have, like Bolds and Fabes and, like Hartman. Like, you have so many of these guys and Foligno and Spurgeon. Like, it's just such a great group. And I think that was the hardest part when Billy called me was like, I think that was the hardest thing to kind of reflect on. I was like, God, like, I'm going to miss those guys. I know it was quick, but it's like the fact that it was that quick and you get that close with those guys, it's like, it hurts, but like I said, I mean, I think those guys I'll be friends with for forever, and I mean, just really lucky to be able to meet all of them and play with them, and get to call them friends for life.
I read that the media was asking Connor Garland about you, and he was just raving, like going back to Worlds. I got a kick out of he said at Worlds that before the gold medal game, you're like, yeah, we'll win. And I guess, and he kind of described it like, yeah, he's won under 17, under 18, 2 World Juniors, national championship. Like, he literally has won everything. I've never won anything. And apparently, I think your dad was also saying, like, yeah, they'll win. Like, that's pretty sick. You were that confident going into that game.
Yeah, I don't know if I think I saw that too. I don't know if I was as arrogant as that, saying, "Oh, I got 5 gold medals."
No, it sounds. If you read it, it does. But knowing you, I think we all know you didn't mean it like that. It was just
you got to talk it into existence, right, Zeev?
Yeah,
manifesting.
I believe in it. I think if you, I've always had this, like belief about like if you genuinely believe it can happen, it will happen. And, you can't be delusional, like if you're, whatever, but like, I've always just believed like if you have the team, you have a group to do it and you believe in it, it'll happen. I think like that's what it comes down to is having that belief. And, like I was fortunate enough, especially at Worlds, like we had, Smitty too. Like we had gone through all these IHF tournaments and everything. We'd win. It would just happen. Right. And so like we genuinely just were like, we're going to win.
Well,
Hell yeah.
me and Smitty were joking around. We're like, Billy needs to take us in the Olympic team so we can win.
Damn right.
Yeah. These hoes ain't loyal. How sick is it though? You get to go over and get coached by Adam Foote. Like, he was fucking a machine back in the day, top tier defenseman. So like, what's your communication been with like him early on, and just how cool is it the fact that he's your head coach?
It's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I think you said it. Like, he had such an amazing career, and he just has so much. I actually got to work with him when I was really young. I was like 13, and he just taught me so many little things that actually, have stuck with me through up until this point. And I actually worked with him again before my freshman year at Denver, and so I've known him for quite some time now, and it's really cool to be able to be coached by him, and just like his demeanor and how he goes about things, and he wants what's best for the team, but also what's best for you, and he wants to teach you and help you understand the game. It's like these little details that I feel like as a head coach you might not always be sharing with your team, but he does. He wants everyone to play with these little details and have these things. It doesn't matter if you're a guy who's been in the league for 10 years or if it's your first year. So I think that's pretty cool, and for me I think that's perfect, because I want to become that two-way. I don't want to just be an offensive guy or one way, defenseman. It's like you want to be out there not just last minute offensively, but defensively. And, I think he will help me a ton with that, and, get me there.
Who's kind of, I know it's been a couple days since you've been there, but who's kind of that one guy that you didn't realize had the gift that he has on the ice? I remember being traded, and a guy like Derek Stepan, who I know worked with you in Minnesota, he was kind of one of those guys when I first got there. When I went to New York, I was like, this guy's hockey IQ is off the charts. Like, just little things that blow you away. Has anyone done that to you yet?
Yeah, I mean, I think, I think Garland was actually somebody, at Worlds that I just didn't know was that good, and even just last two games and practice here, like, he just does little things that are pretty like you just never notice if you didn't play with him. And I think someone else is like Hronek. Like, I just didn't realize how much of a tank he was. Like, this guy's a horse.
Cannon too.
He's got a bomb.
He's got a I was asking him how to take a one-timer, because I was like, how do you shoot the puck?
I saw that video.
Yeah, I was like, I got to work on it. So I'm like asking him, like, what does he do? And so last, couple practices we've been working on it after, but it's like, it's not even that, but it's like, even in the games, like he's just a horse. Like, I think the one in New Jersey, he was out there the last like 5 minutes of the game. I don't think he changed. Just a beast. It's like, it's like, you don't even, like, it was like Fabes was like that too. Like, he's just like a horse. Like, these guys can just like, and it's not like they get tired either. It's like they just work and work and work, and it's like they look like they never get tired.
I was able to go to the Frozen Four and watch you win a national championship, and it was G and Jans and Witt who were raving about you before I'd even seen you play live, and you were so dominant. You end up going at the end of last year to Minnesota to get your playoff experience, and then you get the start of this year. What's been like the hardest part about adapting to the NHL? Like, obviously it's a difficult league, and you can't maybe dominate like you did in college stepping in, but what are the things you've taken away early on that you're like, whoa?
Yeah, I mean, I think last year in the playoffs, you just see the difference in like it was crazy. Like, everything is so, to me, it was like everything's so tight. Like, no one messes up. Everybody's in the right position. Everybody, is great with their sticks. Like, it's so hard to find space. And I think that was like the biggest thing. And then also, like, this was great. Like, I didn't even, like, I feel like when you get hemmed in college or something, or like, you're tired, or you have a long shift, and guys are doubling up, like, you can kind of get away with like, oh, we'll be fine. Like, now it's, you get hemmed in, like, you're screwed.
Oh, fuck.
It's the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
We iced the puck one time in Chicago, and I was stuck in the D zone, which I would never put on for D zone draws by Dave Tippett. And then they throw over Kane and Taves. Oh, buddy. They
They're
put me
like,
through-
Biz is out there. Go.
They fucking,
go.
I was
Biz was
army
yelling too many men on
army
the ice.
crawling on the ice to the bench. Like it was fucking like I had 6 platoons out there trying to fucking murder
I
us.
heard him yelling, too many men, too many men. I'm like, no, Biz, they have 5, we have 5. It's just they're better than you.
I had fucking flares. I was taking out flares, shooting flares on the ice.
I got a shout out. Roll back, last question. Not necessarily the last question, but right now use code Chiclets on rollback.com for a generous 20% off your first purchase through the end of the week. CHICLETS on RHOBACK.com. 20% off polo shorts, swim trunks, and more with code Chiclets. I think come 2030, you're going to be playing in the Olympics, but it's nice. I remember a nice trip with a bunch of days off. Did you have something planned with the mini boys? Will you still do that? Like, what was your plan for Olympic break?
Usually, like there was a group. I think obviously Bolds and Fabes are usually in that group, so it's like, they're obviously gonna be at the Olympics. So, but yeah, I mean, there was little talks. I mean, there wasn't really anything set or figured out.
Oh, that's good then.
Yeah, that was a good part. I mean, if anything, probably Bogo, a couple other guys, but yeah, I don't know. I don't really have anything planned. I mean, just chill, take some time off for sure.
Can I give you some advice?
Careful going on vacation.
Yeah.
Be careful here.
Don't go to Cabo and don't trust little Mexicans on the beach when they say, you want to fly to the moon? Because you're not actually going to fly to the moon. It's not like Bezos on his little ship there. You're going to
Katy
be
Perry.
You're going to be projectile vomiting in your hotel room and staying a day later than you have to because the ecstasy they gave you wasn't ecstasy. So that would just be
from
my
experience
advice for
or
you.
just
Good advice. Oh, yeah.
That's a great advice right there. That's what Adam Foote was hoping Biz would tell you.
Yeah. Well, he's
Right
teaching
there.
them probably how to stick guys in the nuts in front of the net so they don't go to the blue paint. Like, what are some of these little details of the game he's teaching you? To butt end a guy in the fucking ribs if you come near his goalie?
Yeah, pretty much. But it's a lot like he used to, I remember like when I was 13, he was telling me like, you got to be like a cat. Like you got to be like a cat out there. Like you always got to be like on your toes in position, kind of ready to pounce on anything. And like he's big on like stunts. Like, like if when a guy goes past it, like give him like a shot, like doesn't matter where you are. Like, especially in the D zone, like if a guy makes a pass or whatever it is, like get in front of him, give him a shot, like, let him know you're there early. And, it's hard to do. Like there's so many times in a game where, you can easily give someone a shot, but it's like you might forget or you're, tired or whatever it is. But it's like doing these little things just set you up for success, like later on in your shift or, you might stunt the guy or whatever. And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, the puck's coming toward you. And because you got in front of him early, now you can get it instead of him. Like, it's like just little things. I mean, obviously been only a couple days, but, like I said, just a lot of knowledge and so much that, especially he was, a defenseman. So it's like, there's so many little things you can learn from him, in that sense where, he might not be able to teach the forwards the same thing he can teach the D.
Have you had any guys like Brad Marchand or anybody chirp you? Like, has anybody laid into you yet where you're skating with your tail between your legs going to the bench?
Not yet. Knock on wood. No, not yet.
Okay.
The guys are actually a lot nicer than I thought. Like, there's a lot of like conversation that happens on the ice that like, it's just
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Tummy sticks?
yeah, like tummy sticks a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, good to
That's
know.
what I lived for.
Yeah. There's a lot of it. And I was shocked. I was like, I did not expect it to be like, but I've also like, when I was like in mini, like if someone, got in my face, like Bogo would just step in front of them and they'd skate away.
The sheriff.
Yeah, I'd always I'd always joke with Bogo, like, hey, I could have taken him.
Yeah.
Like, I got it.
I had a coach, I can't remember, he used to be like, you cutting fucking deals out there? You
Yep.
cutting deals? I'm like, yeah, you're fucking right, though. I'm cutting deals out there. I'm trying to.
Tip would get mad if you were playing tummy sticks pregame. Like, I had a lot of coaches. Like, I learned that pretty early in my career. Like, don't be fucking chumming it up with guys at face-offs and stuff, especially for how my game was too. Jans, you were in a bit of a different bracket when you're like the offensive guy. Like, you could be playing, like, you and Hazy were basically jerking each other off at the face-off draws when you guys were playing against each other.
Hey, it's crazy that you would only be a junior, and it's wild. How's Denver doing? And we actually just interviewed Guy Gadowsky, the coach at Penn State. He brought up this pole camp, that D-man pole camp. Pretty nice player, huh? But how the boys doing? Like, you must stay in touch with all those guys.
Yeah, I do. They're doing good. I mean, I always say, like, it's the same every year. Like, everyone always thinks we're not going to be good, we're not going to have a good team, and then we end up making the Frozen Four. It happens every year. Like, everyone chirps us, and then it happens. Yeah, and I always say, like, when you get to be coached by David Carl, like, you always have a chance to win. Like, that guy, he's a special coach. So it's like, I mean, in pole camp, that's awesome. I mean, he is such a fun, like, he's a clown. Like,
really nice player though, huh?
Yeah. His shot is like 1,000,000 miles an hour.
Okay.
Wow.
So why didn't you ask him how to do it and wait for Hronek? Jesus. Should have asked the freshman last year.
Because pole camp doesn't always do it. He's just so strong and just rips it.
Just a mutant.
I wanted to know who so far have you noticed who's the clown jester, the jester in the locker room in Vancouver? Who's making you laugh the most? Who's doing the helicopter cocks to get the boys fired up in the locker room? Like, who's the guy?
I mean, Canner's pretty funny.
What's he saying?
Driving in Bentleys?
He's good. He's funny. I mean, Garland's obviously really funny too. I don't know. I don't think I've been here like long enough to kind of to know for sure, but I mean, Canner's always saying something.
Do you even have a roommate, or is there not enough young guys?
No, we don't. We have a bunch of young guys. We don't have a roommate. No.
What's the story with the yo-yo on that group chat? What's that shit?
With Bogo, my birthday was in Seattle, and I'm like, you know what would be sick? Like, if there was like a magic store. And we're like walking around Seattle, and my God, I've never met anyone who hates the city more than Bogo. He hates Seattle.
It's a depressing city.
Look at him. He's like a pure.
If he could take a shit on the city, he would. Like,
everyone else does it there, anyways.
Oh my God! But anyway, we're walking around. And then Bogo's like, "Holy shit! There's a magic store." And I was like, "All right." We walk in there, and I was like, "I gotta get something." And there was like this little shit yo-yo, and then Bo was like, "Oh yeah, I used to play a little. Or I used to mess around with the yo." And he starts doing all these crazy tricks. I'm like, what did this guy not do? So then he ordered like these like super like bougie, nice yo-yos. And I don't know if he sent you the photo, but he got them, and it came with a glove. It was like we ordered like 5 yo-yos for some of the boys.
You better send you one.
Yeah.
All right, buddy.
You're the man.
Sounds good, yeah.
Thank you very much to Zeev Buium, special player, great kid. But guys, we got to talk about this Monday. It is prime Monday Night Hockey. Vancouver Canucks versus the Philadelphia Flyers, Monday, December 22nd at 7:30 Eastern. Our listeners in Canada can watch Monday night's game on Prime Video. If you're already a Prime member, you're all set. If not, sign up for a free trial at primevideo.com. Prime Monday Night Hockey. It's on Monday. It's on Prime. Prime Monday Night Hockey is available free to Prime members in Canada. Start your free trial, www.primevideo.com. For the full Prime Monday Night Hockey schedule, visit www.primevideo.com/SALP/NHL. So the Flyers, Zegras is money this year. He's been phenomenal. They got a big win in Montreal earlier this week. Fowler started. He had a tough giveaway behind the net. They won that game on the road. Now they got Vancouver and Zeev Buium. That's exciting. Now Vancouver, to watch them and to see how much he's going to play. I'm very excited for that. But the Flyers have surprised me. They really have, Biz. I thought they were a bottom 5 team in the league. And what has Talk done?
They're fighting Rick Tocchet's. Unbelievable. And the fact he gets to play against his old team on prime time, Amazon Hockey, baby. That's awesome. A lot of good memories there. Won his first, Jack Adams. He's a fucking Hall of Famer. You got to put him in the Hall of Fame for the full body of work. But interested to watch Zeev Buium and see how he progresses and continues to help this young Canuck team along. And like you said, man, I think that the Flyers, as they continue, like they're top 3 biggest surprises in the league this year. I would say throw the Islanders in the mix, throw the Flyers in the mix, and who else would be your other team, would you say?
Bruins, maybe?
Bruins. So
it's, but you honestly, you didn't people didn't expect it, but us knowing Talk and the way that he is and the way that he bleeds that black and orange, like you knew they were going to have a good turnaround. You knew the guys were going to buy into whatever he says, because at the end of the day, the guy did it at an incredible level for so many years with that jersey on, and his word there goes a long way.
Oh, buddy, not only bringing the nostalgia back from the old days, but yeah, there's no fucking around. There's no. We talked earlier about the interview's coming up because we had to pre-record it, but the gray area, like we talked about with Hitch, there ain't no fucking gray area with Talking.
No.
Man. He's imposing those defensive systems. You're gonna check. You're gonna play with pace, and it's awesome to see what he's done with Zegras, man. Like. I'm happy for that kid. I know we're going to get him on in the next couple weeks. I think we've put the request in, but there were some dark days for him going from that contract negotiation to not playing much to not getting along with his coach out in Anaheim, the one who had the high blood pressure, who they got rid of. But it's great to see what he's doing now.
Yeah, over a point per game. And G said, "Hey, I'm talking to Flyers. Who do you want to interview?" I said Jonesy. I said we got to chat with Zegras. We haven't seen him in forever, and then Couturier, Konechny, and then Delorier would be fun to interview, I think. So, hopefully we got some Flyers content coming up soon. But another guy that's doing well in the state of Pennsylvania is the head coach of the Penn State hockey team, Gavin McKenna's team, Guy Gadowsky.
Guys, real quick, before we send it over to Guy Gadowsky, we do have a little announcement we got to make. We are going to be at the Penn State-Michigan State outdoor game at Beaver Stadium at the end of January. So very excited. We have a ton of stuff planned. I think we're planning a potential little party. We're going to be doing some big interviews, but most importantly, we're going to be at the outdoor game. So very excited, but we can send it away to Coach Gadowsky.
This episode of Spittin Chiclets is brought to you by No Bull. No Bull is a footwear brand for training and for daily life, built to support you in your pursuit of physical, mental, and emotional strength. No Bull celebrates a no bullshit approach to wellness. They've got options across lifestyle and training, and they're the best shoe for anyone who wants to be a better version of themselves. Plus, No Bull is now the official training shoe of the National Hockey League. Exclusively for Spittin Chiclets listeners, No Bull is offering 40% off your order. Not 20, not 30, 40% off your order. Visit www.nobullproject.com/chiclets for 40% off your entire order. That's www.nobullproject.com/chiclets for 40% off of the official training shoe of the NHL.
Welcome now in a very special guest. He's been on Game Notes, but it was our turn to get Penn State head coach Guy Gadowsky. What's going on, Guy? How you doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me. How are you guys?
Oh, we're doing phenomenal. We're doing great. It's good to catch up with you and get to chat. Biz has something quick, I can tell.
I gotta know, did you put your teeth in for the Game Notes interview, or did you take your teeth out for that one as well?
For the game, you know what? Whenever John says that I can take him out, I do, because I lisp with him in. So this is the one he said, "Hey, it's Spittin Chiclets. This is the one you definitely can take off."
That's true. That's a great call.
You know you're big time when you have a teeth guy as an assistant. It tells you when you can.
Does he hold it? Does he hold the flipper?
He will now.
Why haven't you gotten the permanents in? Just because in practice you might catch one?
Nah, because when it happened, 3 of them got compromised. 2 are finally out. 1 was out for a while. The other fell out years later, and there's still 1. So when that one's gone, then I'll do it.
I feel like that helps in recruiting, though. Like, you meet a big-time recruit, it's like, hey, look at me, buddy. I'm a hockey guy.
It depends on the recruit, but yeah, it could work.
It's like tough when the parents cook you corn on the cob, though, when you're over there recruiting. You're like, oh, shit, we're really in one now. But I would imagine it's pretty good during maybe meetings with the players. Maybe not enough back checks going on. You take them out and you really lay into them, and all of a sudden they pucker up and they're like, we better listen to this guy.
Maybe, but not great for team dinners either for your first point. But
that's awesome.
So give us the rundown so far of this season. I want to go back into like the program beginning, and I think it's 12, 13 years at this point, and what you've built is special. And I think being at a place like Penn State with that many students and that many alumni and the rink you have, it was a no-brainer, and at some point you guys are going to become very good. But so far this year, what do you think? Because big expectations coming into this year.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun, specifically because we went to the Frozen Four last year. So this was an exciting year for everybody in Penn State. And when you said, yeah, like it was, I'm along for the ride, believe me. Like this Penn State thing is a little different when it comes to support and resources and the alumni getting behind you. So from day one, Mr. Pegula, we're here because of him. He was the one that donated the money and really was the catalyst for us going D1. But ever since it happened, like 14 years ago now, just every Penn Stater has been so supportive, and the student body is so supportive and so awesome. So it's been a blast. And last year when we finally made the Frozen Four, there's so many people that I'm so happy for, because so many people worked so hard to get it to this point. And then, yeah, you make the Frozen Four, a couple other good things happen in terms of recruiting in the summer, and here we are. So this year, you know what? It's been interesting because we really haven't had to manage a buzz and distractions as we did this year. And so that's been an education for me, but the best teacher for that has actually been Gavin. He's been dealing with that since he's been very young, and the way he handles himself is just, I think it's a great example for all of us.
Is it a little overwhelming, maybe the media coverage, just given the fact that he's joined the program? Like, how have you guys balanced that? Or maybe there was the initial reaction and it's been pretty normal since then?
I wouldn't say it's overwhelming, because I think that's a situation that everybody wants to be in. And this is Penn State. They're so successful in so many other things that I think you come to Penn State hoping that you'll get that buzz, right? So it's not overwhelming, but it is a bit of a distraction, a lot extra time that you don't necessarily anticipate. But like I said, Gavin he just handles everything so well and so chill that once we learned from him how to do things, it's been all right.
And just going back to the support that you get, I know one of my good friends, Frank Marzano, he's a big he's the guy.
Came up the other day. They were saying that. I was wondering, they're like,
they're trying to change Jans's birth certificate and bring him back to play there. I know what you guys got going on.
No, but he literally he called me when they opened up the doors from the CHL, and he's like, who's a good young player, and talking, obviously G helped me out with some names and stuff, but just the alumni. Can you talk about the alumni there and what they provide for you guys? And obviously Mr. Pegula. And my second question to that is, has Mr. Pegula asked you to coach the Sabres yet?
Well, the second one first. That answer is no, but Mr. Pegula has been extremely supportive of our program, obviously. He's been tremendous. He's been everything. When you talk about the alumni, you almost have to experience it, because certainly when the announcement was made that Penn State was going D1, and you sort of look at just what's Penn State like. You see football games, wrestling, you name it. And it's unbelievable, but you have to be in it to feel it. The supporters, the alumni here are absolutely the best, the absolute best, the most supportive. They love everything Penn State. They're very helpful. I tell you what, they've just been amazing. And that's been one of the most gratifying, I guess, parts about this experience, is just the support of the alumni, and the student body has been off the charts.
Given Pegula's intensity and love for that hockey team, yours, would you consider the Sabres maybe his side chick at this point? Is maybe that's why?
No, I would not. No, I would not.
Okay. All right. That's just maybe the way it looks right now anyway. Maybe you guys are getting a little too much attention and he needs to.
Yeah, no comment.
I knew that was a no comment coming.
Yeah, smart man.
And I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
This guy's media trained. Let's get him off.
But Gads, I got a question. As a coach, right, you got 23, 25 guys, whatever the roster is, and you're trying to take care of everyone. You're trying to build a culture. You're trying to create, every year is a new story in college hockey. But it's different this year, right? It's this generational talent, and it's a kid that's coming in McKenna that there's so many expectations, and all of a sudden, and I won't say that I'm not guilty of it. It's like, all right, he's not putting up 2.5 points per game, and then the noise started, and there's draft rankings. How do you deal with him and maybe grab him or talk to him, if you even do it all, about try to block out the noise a little bit, considering it's your draft year and all these expectations you had?
Yeah, so first of all, regarding the expectations, and and college hockey right now, this is a unique year in college hockey because every other year up to this year, you look at the freshmen that are coming into college hockey. There's guys that played high school hockey, a lot of guys played prep school hockey, and then the rest played tier 2. And then this year, you have guys that have been playing 4 years in major junior that have been drafted. You have guys playing in Canadian University. You have guys that have actually played in the American Hockey League that are coming in as freshmen, right? So this is by far the most experienced, mature college hockey year that's ever been. So for number one, you got to say that. And Gavin is 17. But when you talk about, the expectations, the buzz, honestly, he has been such a good example of how to deal with it. You asked how we deal with it. We watched him because, it was new to us and we're trying to figure out and navigate. And he comes in and the way he handles things, he controls what he controls. He's very chill. He's very much the team. He's very much comfortable with the team and about the team. He's not really comfortable about himself. And he's just really chill and he handles it really well. So I think it's, like I said, it's been a big help to all of us.
Did you always know that you were going to be a coach eventually? Because you played at Colorado College, from my understanding. Did you know after you played that you were going to hop into coaching? Was it always in you?
My whole family are teachers. So I think that's sort of where it came from. And I just loved hockey. I just wanted to be a part of hockey so badly. And so, when it became apparent that my career was winding down, I wanted to be a coach. So I did all the, certificates and coaching clinics and everything else to try to get into it. And I did. I was first coach. I was a player assistant for Roy Sommer in the East Coast League to start. And then in the West Coast League, same thing. And then a head coach and went on. But it was something, I just want to be a part of hockey. If I'm in hockey, then I don't consider I'm going to work.
And also, how has it been for you evolving as a coach? Because we talk constantly about how you have to talk to these players nowadays, and even Rick Tocchet, a guy who was so hardcore as a player, and maybe the way that he had Keenan, but he talked about in Vancouver how he has to massage these relationships constantly and make sure each guy is getting attention. So have you felt that you've had to do that throughout the years and how you've progressed as a coach?
Yeah, sure. There's a difference in how, every generation is a little bit different. So yeah, you have to adjust your communication for sure. But I think it's good. I think it makes us learn. It makes you don't get stale. But at the same time, you're successful because of your stripes. So as long as you don't lose your stripes, I think you adjust to how you communicate. And you want it, sometimes it's different. How you get through to every player is different. So you're always trying to evolve and try and find ways to be more effective. And it's the same thing as you do with individual players is the same thing with, I guess, generations. So yeah, we're learning. We're always learning. I hope so. Makes you better.
And they must help you too. Your son's on the team, so what the kids his age are, at least going through, and a lot different than the way that we came into the game. And I'm sure the way Whit came into college, the times have definitely changed, and I'm sure he's been able to help you with that.
Well, not really. We sort of have not really. We sort of have a deal that hockey's hockey and he's just a player. And then home is home and he's not a player. That's sort of the deal we have. And actually he hasn't come home that much. My wife's a little disappointed. So I probably have spoken to him less this year than I did even last year when he wasn't on the team, because at least I'd call and ask him what's going on, but we don't really talk team. So
I looked through your stats as a player, your hockey DB, and there was games in 93, 94 you played for the Canadian national team. Now that was the team I believe that was preparing and getting ready for the Olympics in 94. It was Canada who was playing Forsberg when he pulled that legendary move that ended up on a stamp. So were you in the running to play for that Olympic team? How did that work out?
Yeah, I got cut before the Olympics. I got cut. And then when Biz asked about coaching, I got cut and I went home. I'm like, that's it. I'm done. I don't need this anymore. And I went home and I went on job interviews and I interviewed cops and firemen and lawyers and I got offered a couple jobs. And I was sitting there thinking about what one job, I had a deadline. I had to give them an answer Monday morning. So I remember Sunday night going am I going to do this or not? And I thought a lot about it and I was like, man, I need hockey. I just need hockey. Yep. So that was probably the time where I decided, man, I got to get back to hockey. So I So I scrapped the job hunting and went back to playing hockey. That's what happened.
I'm sticking with the international theme here. Something really cool that's happening for the first time, and G brought it up. My understanding is you're going to be coaching a team that's going over to the Spangler Cup, which is a combination of all the top U.S. Is it U.S. born college players?
No, just college. Everybody. So Canadians, U.S. We have Europeans. Yeah, it's a college select team.
Oh, that's fun.
Is it under 20? Is it no under 20 kids though? Or is it anyone who's not World Juniors, basically?
Correct. Anybody who's not World Juniors. So we could take sophomores, except we're trying to stay away from the freshmen because and a lot of those guys are going to be World Junior selects. But anybody else, regardless of the country of origin.
So what do you think about this, and what an opportunity for you to go over there? And I mean, the building over there is iconic. So it's got to be
done
pretty
yet.
No, the one in Davos is.
No, I was kidding.
Yeah. Sorry. Okay, so
that's his sense of humor, right?
Okay,
be careful, buddy. He gets me every day.
Well, I'm pumped about it. Like not personally, but for college hockey, because look, like college hockey, this is great opportunity for college hockey in Europe and Canada. I mean, it's on TV all over. I think more than 20 countries, and obviously in Canada. We've Canadians grow up watching it during Christmas. So it's very cool, but I think it's a great opportunity to show how good college hockey is. I don't know what to expect. I mean, I know this is the first time this is happening. So no one really knows what to expect, which makes it sort of even more cool. Obviously there's a lot of pros, that are extremely experienced. We're going to be a little different team, but it doesn't mean we can't just go. I mean, we're just going to go, man. We're just going to go. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's good for a lot of these guys. It's good exposure for them too.
So, Guy, one of my all-time favorite movies is Blue Chips, and just it just makes me think about the recruiting process for you. I was wondering if you had any like cool stories where families, breaking down, or a horrible story where something crazy went wrong. And
Jens wants to know how many double wides you've bought.
Well, now they can.
Jeez, I'm not going to give you any, I'm not going to give you a bad story. That's for sure. I think that when it comes to recruiting, look, man, you got to sell what you have. And there's a lot of different ways to do that. And then when you bring people in, there's some families that are going to be absolutely blown away by tailgating at football. And there's going to be families that are blown away here at Pagul Ice Arena or with the weight room we have. And you just sort of have to find the niche. I think for us, we're a real competitive program and like to compete at different things like ping pong, you name it. I think Gavin.
He's number one.
Well, he is now. That pisses me off, though. I mean, he caught him like John caught it at the bad time. I beat him. Yeah, I had a bad week. He had a good week.
Some guys get it all, eh?
Yeah, it's unreal. I know.
That's a pyramid where you got to beat. You can only play who's above you, right?
You can challenge anybody on the board. And if you win, you switch spots. If you lose, you move down. And below that is the minors. So everybody's either in the minors or in the top 10. But
you got to do, you got to bag skate Gavin. You got to bag skate him one day and then call him out and be like, "We're playing right now."
You know what? Exactly, because he does the same thing. He'll be playing. He'll be all relaxed. He'll be practicing, and then I'll be running around. He's like, "Hey, challenge! We got to play now." That's his deal. So I got to be a better GM when it comes to that. I think you're right.
What kind of player were you?
A hockey player?
Yeah.
Not a very good one.
Well, Bob Stauffer sent me the stats, midget AA.
Let's go.
I think you're sixth in the leading scoring. Although I think you were seventh because Stauf cracked me up today and he sent me the list. It's a newspaper cutout and he's right above you. And I'm like, I think this is why Stauf had 20, or you had the same amount of points, but he had 21 goals. He might have had 20. And he said, no, that guy could play. He could really play.
Well, you know what? I'll steal a line from Stauffer. Stauffer would say that I was a stay-at-home centerman. There you go.
Like Phillip Danault.
So that's how it was.
Yeah.
Steve Ruchin on the Ducks in 2003.
How is it though for so you're a defensive-minded player and maybe you didn't have the option?
No, I wasn't. I wasn't a defensive-minded player. I just wasn't good enough.
Okay. So do you like to try to have the guys play with a high pace, a lot of offense? Like where have your hockey philosophies came from, and who are the coaches that maybe you took from?
Well, I grew up in Edmonton, So that's probably the biggest hockey influence, was just growing up in the 80s with the Oilers. And actually my friend, really close friend of mine, his dad was Ted Green. So he was an assistant coach of the Oilers. So we got to, I was very fortunate. I got to go to their practices. I got to be in the locker room when they won the Stanley Cup. And I think a lot of it was just watching them that got my love for hockey. I mean, but man, I've been really fortunate to play for or coach with some unbelievable coaches. Ken Hitchcock, I got to tell you, has been one of the best guys. He was during the lockout in Philly. He was coaching in Philly during the lockout, and I was at Princeton. And so I just called because we needed a goalie coach. And he said, well, you know what, I'll come help you out. And I thought he was going to come for a day. He was there all season, and I learned so much from him. So I would say those, from a hockey standpoint, probably the Oilers and Ken Hitchcock have probably been the biggest influences.
To ask you more about Hitchcock, was he helping you with any video at all? Because when me and Whit got to experience him in St. Louis for a training camp, I thought it was pretty unbelievable for a guy who never really played at a high level, or maybe really at all, how he was like able to break down the little nuances of the game. Like, I was flabbergasted about how he was able to do that.
Yeah, you know what? I think he's a genius, and in the sense of not necessarily what he knows, but how he communicates it. So it's really interesting. Like, you'd ask a question that I think is pretty complicated, and every question he answers like boom, boom. It's A, B. Like he boils it down to every single guy in the room gets, oh, absolutely. That's his genius. He can communicate his ideas in a very well-defined way, like very well-defined. And when it comes to video, he was like, he would come to every one of our home games, but on the road, we would send him tapes and he'd go through them, and then he'd and discuss them with me. So it was a master class in coaching, and I have the utmost respect for him.
That's funny. You say the way you describe it is true. There's no gray area with him. That's what I remember. You always kind of knew exactly what he was saying, and I never really considered it. I also remember with him, Biz, and I'm sure it was similar with Princeton, maybe different with personnel, but he was so crazy and adamant about cycling down low. Like, all he wanted was you to cycle down low and tire them out, and like hope passes to him, it made him sick. And granted, we were there 3.5 weeks in training camp, but he was always drilling and going into like controlling the puck on the cycle. And St. Louis was very good at that, no surprise.
Well, for us, I mean, I think I don't remember that specifically offensive zone part of it, but I can tell you that back to the communication, like when coaches sit around and talk and someone will bring it up and someone will say, well, what do you do here? And a coach will say, well, this is what you do. And then there'll be a question. Well, what if that guy does that? Then what do you do? And you get into more discussions. And then with Hitch, though, it's like, what do you do? And Hitch goes, boom, boom, done. Everybody gets it perfectly. No other questions. And I don't know how he does it. It really is, when you come across great teachers, he is a great, great, great teacher. Great teacher. Like, no matter what, you leave the room, the discussion, whatever you're talking about, going, I got it. I 100% got it. And to me, I think that's the genius of coaching, because it's not necessarily the systems or the concepts that you use. It's how many guys on your team absolutely get it. That's what matters. And for him, I think he's genius.
Do you find the kids are maybe very skill obsessed and like offensive obsessed? Maybe even more so than like prior generations? And how hard or easy is it to beat into them like the systems element? Like, hey man, you can't go there. You can't take that risk. Is it harder?
I think that's coaching. I mean, I'm sure that's what my coach said about me. Your coach has said about you probably at some times. I think that's the genius of it, and depending on what you really want to get out of it. But for sure, with all the different videos now and everything, it seems like every hockey player coming up has been very, very trained in the skill aspect of the game. Very, very trained. A lot more than I remember at when I was growing up. Like, a lot more trained and very aware of different offensive techniques. But I think that once you buy in that, look, you all have to do something structured together to have individual success. I mean, that's the key.
I know NHL is a copycat league, and a lot of teams are taking, whether it's D-zone coverage or, power play stuff from other teams. Is it like that in college, or are you guys looking at NHL games and going through?
Oh, absolutely. It's copycat in college too, but we still, I think the majority of us want to see what the best teams in the best league in the world do. Obviously, that's to me, that's a no-brainer. So we're very much, I think coaching is very much a copycat profession. You can't ever lose your stripes, but you certainly, it's a great way to get to tweak your system to where the game's going and evolving. And yeah, very much so.
I got a larger or a question about like college sports right now, and there's been so much discussion that it's in a weird spot. And college hockey is no different. It's obviously not to the level of college football with the money involved in the NIL, but it's still right there. I'm curious, like, are there any things that you've talked to other coaches about where you're like, God, I think we got to switch this up? Like, personally, to me, like the transfer rule, I always hated the fact you had to sit out a year, because if you were a junior and you realize I'm not really going to play the next 2 years, I was like, oh, I should be able to go. But the transferring every year to me is insane. So I don't know if there was something for you right now. It's like, I think we need to address this.
Well, I think there's a lot of things that a lot of coaches would like to address, and our staff is no different. But we're taking the attitude that, look, unless we can change it, why complain about it? So
yeah,
a lot of things that you're talking about originate from probably football. The rules aren't just, hey, no one thought about college hockey, then implemented all these rules in NCAA. It comes from, football for sure, maybe basketball, etc. But there's not a lot that we can control as hockey coaches. So our attitude is, hey, just give me the rules and let's play. Like, I love hockey. I want to be a part. I'd love being a hockey coach. Want to be here. What are the rules? Let's go for it. So
aren't those confusing right now, though, a little?
Yeah, I mean, it's a ton. Like, if you get coaches, any college coaches, you go for a beer, where of course we're going to talk all about this and how ridiculous a lot of the things are. Just like I'm sure a lot of other coaches as football coaches, basketball, everybody across the NCAA. However, I guess like our attitude is just, I'm not going to change the rules. So you give me the rules and we'll play. That's what we think.
I think that the talent pool in the NCAA, given the rules and the fact that you can go to junior first now, like, it's at the highest it's ever been. I mean, we've talked about Gavin, but you also get a firsthand look against teams that you're coaching against. For those who don't watch enough college hockey, who are looking forward to this year's draft, or even like prospects that have been drafted, who are some of the most fascinating players in college hockey right now where you're like, this guy might be like the next Cale Makar. This guy might be the next Connor Bedard. Like, who are the guys that you've seen firsthand?
I mean, there's a lot in the Big Ten right now. There's a lot of really great actually, I should say all across the nation. When you talk about defensemen, we have a couple going to our team at the Spangler Cup. I mean, Eric Polkamp he's an incredible defenseman out of Denver. He's fantastic. Jake Levinage from North Dakota is extremely good. There's another one, Cole Hudson, obviously, I'm sure you're very familiar with in BU, is one of those guys that, I have great respect, obviously, for Cale Makar, but we've got other college has done an amazing job with defensemen that guys come out of college and do a great job in the National Hockey League. So I think there's a number of them. There's some really good forwards as well. Obviously, you're going to see a few of them in the World Juniors that play in the Big Ten, where Marcone has been having a really good year. Personally, I got to tell you, and I don't necessarily think this is biased, but I just love, like, if you love hockey and love watching creativity, like Gavin to me that's a guy to watch. He just is. He's just so much fun to watch. It's so much fun to watch his vision and his brain, how it works. It's quite incredible.
Can you dive a little deeper into Gavin? Like, that's what fascinates you the most. Like, what are you seeing that separates him and why he should be first overall?
Oh, well, there's a couple. So first of all, that's what you see. Like, you watch him in practice and the way, and even games, like, you'll see the way he manipulates time and space is really weird. Like, weird. It's different. Like, he'll have guys flying. He has no time. And like, you're thinking, don't get rid of the puck and cover up. And he's like just so calm and will take time and just make the nicest, easiest play. And you're like, how do you do that? And then on the other hand, he'll have time and space and you think, oh, he's going to slow things down. And he'll like one touch a pass, bullet. He sees things differently. And that's what you see right off the hop. But what we're learning since then is like, he does so many things at elite level. Like, his vision and the way he thinks is incredible. But then we'll do a conditioning drill and he'll just kill it. Like, he's elite condition. And then if you look at anything he does on the backhand side of his stick, it's insane. It's insane how good the backhand side of his stick is. It's just insane. Like, the first 50 times you're like, that has to be luck. And then that's like he does it all the time, and it's amazing. And then he's 17, and he's a young 17. He's not one of these early developer kid. He's a very young 17. I think that's a lot why he came to college, so he could develop his body, nutrition, etc. But I mean, he just wires the puck. Like his first goal was a bullet pass across the whole ice, a one-time top shelf. Like he's got so many things that he does at an elite level besides his vision.
And like you talked about, like that patience, I think in that first game against ASU, I don't know if he was on the point during the power play or you put him there or he just ended up there, where a guy came barreling out and then like he just made patient, ended up making the right play down the wall, and you guys ended up scoring off of it. But amazing player to watch. Now, is he related to Connor Bedard?
I believe so, yeah. That's what
so has he been around at all? And I mean, that'd be an unreal guy to pick his brain, right? So
it would be. No, he hasn't come here. I'll leave that up to Gavin. But no, we haven't seen Connor here.
Okay.
It's almost
NCAA
kind of
rules. He might be on the fucking roster if he wanted to
be. They could probably pay him more than Chicago too.
Oh,
Pagula's writing the check right now. Yeah.
So do you almost think it's kind of unfair the way like the criticism he's getting? Because I mean, I played junior. It's a wide open game. Like it's a skill game. There's so much room to make plays. You're not getting hit. And then I went to a college game over Thanksgiving break. It was Michigan Harvard, and there is no room on the ice there. Granted, there's probably not as many high end talent as he is, but like I honestly think it's a little unfair to give him this criticism because, like you said, how young he is. He's never played over here, and he's playing with guys that are 24, 25 years old.
I mean, I don't really listen to the criticism. I think they're very wrong. We get to see this kid every day. He, and the thing is, when he came here, he's very, very conscious that he wants to improve the team and be a part of the team. He'll only talk about the team. He doesn't like talking individual. And so I think he's been very aware and very, very conscious of getting everybody involved. And there's times where he certainly could be more selfish. And I'm hoping that maybe happens the second half, but that as well. I mean, we brought him here to play with a guy. We have an excellent winger who is, I think he was the second leading, he's the leading scorer coming back in the NCAA, Aiden Fink, and he broke his thumb. So he's missed half the season. So like Gavin's been playing with a bunch of different players. I think he's been handling it extremely well. And, if intangibles mean anything, the way this guy is with the team, the way he ingratiates his teammates, just love him. And just the way he does things, like if you keep scoring anything, you see this kid turning up. He's phenomenal. I mean, he's excellent. I don't listen to any criticisms, but again, this is also the highest quality, most mature, most experienced college hockey league that's ever been. Right. So I think that you got to take that into consideration too. There are no prep school kids coming out in our league right now.
Hey, we appreciate you answering so many questions about Gavin too. I know there's so many other things to talk about. I think we're just kind of fascinated about this prospect coming up. And my next question about him though is like, what would your advice be to other coaches who have maybe never coached a guy of this stature, right? Like, I'm not sure if you've ever coached a guy that's this special coming up, and there's probably a lot of other ones who haven't. What would your advice be to a coach who might be all of a sudden finding themselves get this type of player?
I'm not sure that I have that I would be able to give advice right now because it's still new to me and I'm learning. But what I can tell you, if you have the privilege to coach a Gavin McKenna, just enjoy it because he makes it easy. Like he's very much about the team. That's what I'm saying. Like it's very different with him. He's no so
ego.
Chill. No, but it's more than that. It's not only there's no ego. It's he really. So he's a very young 17, and I remember we were like, man, we got to get more physical, and in the middle between periods, we got to get more physical. He's the guy that goes out and just lays someone out, and like he'll do whatever the team like. That's what. I think he's really driven to do what the team needs rather than necessarily do it individually accolades. So if you're asking me what's my advice, if you're fortunate enough to coach a guy with that team character that Gavin has, just enjoy it. That's what I'd say.
That's awesome.
In 2013, your first year, was that the first year the team had gone from ACHA or club to D1?
I actually coached the club team for 1 year.
No way.
Yeah, which was a blast.
Hell, I bet.
Absolutely. It was a blast. And then we played the next year was independent, and we played out of the little rink on campus before Pagula Ice Arena. And that was a blast and awesome. And what happened, we actually were supposed to have a number of years as an independent to get ready to get in the Big Ten. But they saw what this arena was going to be in, and they anticipated the support and what the fans were going to be like. And we sold out every game. Like, it's incredible. And so when the Big Ten saw that, they were like, hey, we're not giving you more years as an independent. You're going in the league now. That's what happened. So we actually started, I think, in 2013. That's when this building was built. That was the first year of the Big Ten. And we only had 2 recruiting classes.
Wow.
And at that point, club hockey there, and now club hockey, it kind of blows my mind now because there's a lot of schools that have 2 or 3 teams, like pretty good hockey players are going there, not making the number 1 team. Like, it's a competitive, awesome thing for kids to have that can't play D1 or D3, whatever. But when you guys had it, you were kind of the kings, because at that time, weren't you getting 4,000 or 5,000 a game?
Well, no, because our arena that was on campus only held about, I want to say 600, I think.
Oh.
So, yeah.
But it was packed.
It was packed, and they were really good. They were a really good team. They won the ACHA championship a number of times, and the guys were awesome. Like, that was an awesome year because it was all about building for the future. So these guys they're loving it. And then the first year that we played, D1, and even in the Big Ten, we had guys that came to Penn State to play club hockey. They're playing the Big Ten in Pagula Ice Arena.
So you kept some guys.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
That's
probably had to, yeah.
That's unreal.
You kept a lot of guys. That's what I was saying. Like, we were supposed to have a number of years, but we didn't. So we had 2 recruiting classes. So we had 2 recruiting classes that we recruited, and 2 recruiting classes were from the ACHA team. And these guys were just loving it. It was a blast.
How much more is that going to be happening as far as club teams? You got to think of some of these. Jans is a big Bulldogs fan. Some of these SEC teams, they got to be coming up with from club to the big dogs. No?
God, I'd love it. I hope so. You know what? Before COVID, I think that we would have definitely had another Big Ten school for sure. And maybe there's others around the nation. I know that there's a lot of feasibility studies being done, and I really hope that more and more jump in. I would like to see it a lot in the West Coast. I think that would be the way to go.
Well, G says UNLV's next. You remember they beat Denver last year. They didn't have their coach.
Oh, yeah.
But still, doesn't really matter. So that's one he's saying would be next. And the SEC, yeah, I agree with you. Like the old Pac-12, Pac-10, whatever, those schools. But then you look at, Keith and I were down at a football game at Georgia. We met the club hockey team. It's like the kids on campus, I don't even think they know it's club hockey. They're like, oh, this is our hockey team. They might as well be in the NHL.
Yeah, I know there's been some great support. We went to, when we played club here, I remember going to, was it Oklahoma? I think we went down to Oklahoma.
Yeah.
They had a great team, and it was packed. It was a lot of fun. I really hope more and more jump in.
I know you mentioned it a little bit earlier, but just like the atmosphere, especially at your rink, and you see it throughout college hockey. You got the bands going. Like, it's so fun to go watch the games. And I think Witt's the first guy I've ever heard say this with the playoffs, how it's at a neutral site. They should be in these home arenas. Like, you got with your own fans again. Like, imagine you guys playing.
If you're the
whatever.
one seed,
not fucking St. Louis.
Right, yeah. Like, what are we doing it in Tampa for? Like, there's not even.
No, it's like even crazier places. Like, it's St. Louis and Tampa would be like Vegas compared to some of the places they're going for.
They did Manchester, New Hampshire, which I played in Match. I love Match, but
so it depends. It depends on the matchups. Like last year, we were at Allentown, which is in PA, and it was awesome because it was in PA, and we had the whole student section showed up. Other supporters, other alumni that don't, because it's sold out here, they can't always get in. They went, and it was a blast. It was unbelievable. But in some regionals, there's flies, and I could not agree more. This is something that we've been talking about for a while that I really hope goes, because hey, we're very fortunate here. It's an amazing atmosphere, but there's so many other colleges with amazing atmospheres, and I just think about the 2 colleges that I was at before here. I can't Hobie Baker Rink in Princeton, if they were ever to host the regional, it would be off the hook. It would be unbelievable. It put the hockey program at the forefront of that university for the first time ever. And the same goes for Alaska. It would be insane. It would be nuts. It would be nuts. So I could not agree with you more. I hope it happens.
Yeah, like, and you just, if you grind it all year to have, there's 4 number 1 seeds. If you get one of them, you're gifted some sort of advantage. So that would be pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool.
So Hobie Baker went to Princeton, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And so did actually Patty Kazmaier. So the top college hockey players Hobie Baker were, the top women's college hockey players, Patty Kazmaier, they're both Princetonians. So that's sort of cool.
Before we let you go, I got a question. Because last year, I watched a couple of your games, and that kid Aiden Fink, I was like, holy shit! One of those players you're immediately going online, 7th round pick. He lit up his freshman year, and then really took off sophomore year. Mm-hmm. I don't know how he didn't sign. Like, I'm sure you had something to do with it. And he's missed some games. So he's still a point per game, but is he battling an injury?
He did. Well, that's the thing. So Gavin was to play with Aiden, and Aiden broke his thumb very early in the season. So he's missed half the games. So that's what I mean. Gavin's been playing with a bunch of different guys. He really hasn't had a solid line. So Aiden's coming back. He's coming with us to Spangler Cup.
Nice.
He's back, so he's going to get his feet on him. When he comes back, I think him and Gavin are going to have a heck of a second half.
The last thing I was going to ask about is how fired up are the boys and you for playing the outdoor game?
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
This is crazy.
Crazy. Ever since I got here, so it's been 14, 15 years ago, that is the number one question, most common question that I get is, when are you guys going to play an outdoor game at Beaver Stadium? I get it all the time, no matter where I'm at. I get it in the airport. Like, anybody sees Penn State, they're like, hey, when are you going to? I get it all the time. Penn Staters just can't wait for this. So it's going to be awesome. I mean, I think I just heard yesterday, they've already sold 60,000 tickets.
Whew.
Wow.
How many can it
We're
fit?
gonna be there.
110?
Well, with the construct, I don't know exactly because of how construction's going and how they configured it, but they better have some because they've already sold 60,000.
G's asking, are they also going to do a whiteout there? Because you guys are notorious for your whiteouts.
Have to.
Yes, they will.
Wow.
So,
yes.
so this is one step closer, because I keep busting my buddy Frank Marzano's chops that Penn State is going to be a hockey school and not a football school. So I think this is the first step, but taking over that field.
They can't even. He's got to coach the football team now too. You didn't hear?
That's right. Double dip.
He's double dipping.
That's funny. I got to tell you, Keith, I didn't, but your name came up. So Frank, you know Frank very well. He's an awesome Penn Stater. Yeah,
the best.
Your name came up the other day.
I was with him yesterday. He said to say hello.
Really? Cool.
This has been awesome.
Hey, Gads, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Good luck in Davos. That'll be a special trip no matter what the record is. But good luck. Represent the college game well, and we'll see you. We're going to be out there at Beaver Stadium end of January, and we appreciate you coming on.
That's awesome. Thank you very, very much, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Big thanks to Guy Gadowsky. Witt had to take off because he's on daddy duty. Boys Week.
Biz, me and you each have 4 years of eligibility. I would love to play for Guy Gadowsky.
Damn.
Think about it. Think about it.
Like, I didn't even write my own exams in high school. Who's going to help me
they're
pass?
not doing that stuff in college, are they?
Oh, the athletes don't really have to go to class?
Nah.
Oh, perfect. Well, here's another guy who never went to class. Let's bring him in. RA's World.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to RA's World here in the Spittin Chiclets podcast. How's it going, boys? Good to see you once again. Keith, I apologized last week, but for a little oversight with who was going to play you in a movie, but Casey Affleck, that would be the perfect guy to play you in a movie.
All right, I'll take it, and I appreciate that. And the 1 week extra of thinking about it and hitting a home run with one of my favorite actors, Casey Affleck. I really appreciate that, all right?
Absolutely. Biz, what's going on, buddy?
I got a question. Is he the one that was in Manchester by the Sea?
Yeah.
I never saw that, but he was pretty. Did he win an Oscar for that?
I believe he did. I know he was definitely nominated. I believe he might have. I should know that with my movie stuff, but he's definitely been nominated for it. I know that for sure. He was really good in Oppenheimer too. Did you ever see that, Biz?
I've seen half of it, and I've always watched it on flights, and I was never able to finish it because the flights always ended by the time I like put it on and watched it. But definitely one that I have to watch, like to the point where I haven't gotten to Sean Avery's scene yet. Like I need to watch and finish that movie. So I mean, now that we're on the movie talk here, RA, you have to be thrilled. Could you ever have imagined when you started this podcast that you would be on Netflix?
Hilarious. Like I tweeted, I said, I watched The Wire for the first time actually on DVD. And that's when I started using subtitles for the first time because, I didn't know a lot of the lingo. And now I joke like now people can put subtitles on so they can understand what I'm saying when we're on Netflix coming up soon. Yeah, very exciting. It's just wild. Just another, I guess, another notch for this crazy life that we all have. And yeah, the more the merrier, man. It's fun stuff. I'm looking forward to it, man.
Biz, awesome. Do you remember the old days? I was talking about it with Kristen the other day when Netflix, you'd get a DVD mailed to you and then you'd have to mail it back. You could get like 2 at a time. Remember you'd bring them on the road and then like some guys would open up their case and they'd have like the Netflix. They'd be like, dude, you got to return this. What are you doing?
Oh, buddy. And yeah, it was, and didn't they have almost like vending machines that would pump them out?
Then they had them after that. Yeah. It was kind of their progression.
And I believe at a certain point, Blockbuster could have purchased Netflix or been involved with them somehow. And I don't know who was in charge and who was running the ship then, but talk about fumbling the bag. My goodness, man. That's like the Michigan football coach. That's a bag fumble for the ages right there.
Yeah, I got a love-hate thing with Blockbuster. I mean, they obviously had a great selection, but they gobbled up all the mom-and-pop stores back in the day. And, I worked at my uncle's video store. So basically when I started, he had like one shelf of adult movies. But the only way he could compete with Blockbuster was just to keep getting more porno. So by the time the store closed, like half the store, it was like working at a porno shop by the
Come on. Would there be the room in the back where they could go tug and like someone...
we weren't that customer friendly. But,
okay. There's like shops like that exist where you go there and you pop the DVDs in and you tug in like the back room, which is bizarro land.
Yeah. Well, like there was a Times Square. They used to have those booths. You would like put like quarters in and like a girl would dance for you and like, you fucking rub one out in the middle of Times Square just watching some girl dance.
Come on. They would have almost like the in New Amsterdam style.
I've never been to Amsterdam, but that I think you just kind of pick your hookers out over there. So I heard. But no, at Times Square, literally, you'd put like quarters in and you just like crank one out and then go back to fucking Sparrow and grab some pizza afterwards.
I guess there was no like the internet back then, right? So you had to kind of either rent the DVDs or I guess even before
buy
DVDs, the VHS. Unraveling
go to the file. You just go to the old file right here.
Yeah. The memory bank or a Sears catalog in the bra section if you're getting real desperate. What else, RA? What do you got cooking for the boys, baby?
I've been chilling. I'm still feeling a little wonky in the back, but I did go to our buddy Jake Tebow he's played for Milton Academy. He's at Babson now. He had his family Christmas party last week, so I drove out to Fitchburg and last year I went. And it's like it's like an hour drive. It's like you don't want to have like 1 or 2 beers and then, like have to drive home. So I was like, buddy, I'm crashing this year. I didn't get like tuned up or anything, but it's like, I don't want to have to drive home, but he's a great guy, just a great family. All his teammates at Babson, like so good to him. All the boys were there. So shout out to all the Babson boys too. So nice time. Great to see Jake and get the Christmas spirit going, boys.
Oh, that's awesome.
Today, big anniversary today, Biz. 108 years ago today, the NHL opened for business. The visiting Montreal Canadiens beat the Senators, the OG Senators, 7-4, and the Montreal Wanderers beat the Toronto Arenas 10-9 in their first, last, and only victory because their barn burned down a few weeks later. I mentioned this a few weeks ago, the Montreal Wanderers. So there are only 3 teams left there. Yeah, their barn got burned down, man. They basically had to like forfeit the season. Pretty wild shit.
No way. And then like you're saying that because when they eventually like were recreated, they had a different name and maybe even a different owner. Like what? How did that all work?
Yeah, why didn't they just relocate?
I mean, it was 1917 or whatever. I don't know if it was really feasible because there was their arena burnt down and the Canadians, I guess, had first dibs on. I don't think it was the Forum yet, but so yeah, they basically just kind of suspended operations. And I don't know if they became the Montreal Maroons later or if they just kind of like closed up shop. I'm not sure on that. I ain't that old.
I got a question. So you said the game was 10-9?
Yeah.
Is that where the term barn burner came up?
Ooh,
I'm not even fucking around here. I'm asking.
I don't think so, just because it burned down a few weeks later. But I like your train of thinking there, man.
But it was the last game there, you said, right?
Yeah, I didn't know. I just trying to put it all together with my small
dude.
peanut
That's big brain shit.
Is it? All right.
All right. Also, too, on that side, I wonder if those players were able to go and play for another team or not, or if they just had to go back to their job.
No, they went back to the farm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and interesting, like some major names too from hockey history: Georges Vezina, Newsy Lalonde, Joe Malone, Art Ross, and Cy Dennedy. Like those, legendary names from the game. Those all those guys played, in the first day of the league. So pretty, little history for you, Biz.
What would be fun is to see, like, maybe do like a tournament, a little mini tournament throughout the NHL regular season, but all the players had to wear the gear from back then, just to see how bad the hockey would be compared to the technology that existed back then.
Yeah, like shoulder pads. They basically look like shoulder pads women were in the 80s back under their fucking blouses and shit back in the day.
Yeah.
Moving along, we got to give a thumbs down to Seattle for what they did the other night with the post-game stuff. I'm not sure if you guys talked about it earlier. They lost 5-3 to Colorado, and they only had one person asking questions, and it was their own in-house, guy who covers the team for them. And, it was like, I guess other writers were giving this guy questions to ask, but it's just weak. I mean, Seattle, they did come up with a statement. The bottom line, it wasn't right. It was a mistake, and it will never happen again. But it shouldn't have happened in the first place, man. It's like, it was like, I don't know, childish, just foolish. Like, this you can't hide this stuff anymore. Everything's online and on the internet. And I just don't know what they were thinking. Tough loss. Things aren't going great there. But you can't shut out the media, man. That's who publicize all the games and does all that stuff. So I mean,
the
they
guys in the
apologized.
locker room shut it because
it was Lane.
Because I don't know what it.
It was Lane Lambert, the coach.
Yeah.
He was sitting there, and they had one person just asking. I think his team related, just asking him kind of softball questions because they were just kind of fed up. I don't know if they had a closed door team meeting or something happened internally, but they also have been leaking oil. They did have the big win where they came back against LA and tied it in the dying seconds. But I believe before that, they lost like 6 or 7 in a row, all of which in regulation. So they haven't been getting points. Do you have their stats? Like, how bad have things gotten for them, RA?
It was actually the game that was their 9th loss in 10 games the other night. So, obvious frustration, but that's just not the way to handle it at that point. What's up, G?
I was actually reading that their shooting percentage to start the year was just like astronomical.
Buddy, they stink.
They're coming back to earth. They're coming back to earth now.
They're not
I think
a
Pasha
good team.
said that they'd come back to earth, that their numbers, the under the hood shit is, it's not sustainable.
And listen, great guys in that locker room, they're fighting every night, but just an absolute boring team to watch. I watched a few of their games this year, and it's like watching paint dry. Although contradictory that LA game was not bad, but 2 defensive-minded teams. But yeah, you can't be doing that. You got to fucking stand in the fire. That's why you get paid the big bucks, and that's bullshit, RA. And that's big J journalism for our boy, The Rear.
Absolutely. But some good stuff at MSG. Chris Kreider, Jacob Trouba made their first appearance at MSG. And, man, Kreider, they really gave him a giant stand a couple of minutes long. I love to see that stuff. But Tristan Jarry, though, he did not get a video tribute in Pittsburgh because, per beat writer Dave Molinari, the Penguins are not expected to have a tribute video for Tristan Jarry tonight. They are believed to have adopted a policy of giving such recognition only to guys who won a cup here. I mean, I want to ask Whit because I know he's been bitching about this for years, but I don't know. Do you think that, 300 games he played there, 10 seasons, I was pretty shocked they didn't give him one.
I respect the fact that they're doing that. When you have that rich history, I guess, you can get away with it. Do I think Jarry would be hurt from it? No, I don't think so. I think I'm sure he got the love from his teammates before and then after the game. So I don't think it'd be that big of a deal. But just to go back to the Rangers one too, Chris Kreider, at the end of the day, he's going to go down as one of the greatest Rangers of all time. He was a stud there for a long, long time. He put in the work. He's one of those guys. He came right out of college, lit the world on fire when he played there, and then sustained it. How long was he there? 15 years?
13 seasons.
13 years. So
top 7 all-time goal scorers for the New York Rangers. What is he at? Do you have that information? Maybe G in the back. He's I believe he's easily in the top 10 for most goals ever scored. I think he actually has the most
goals.
He has the most power play goals in New York Rangers history as a player.
Wow.
So there's a lot that he's done there for that organization, and to get pigeon tossed the way that he did, that's bad karma.
If you were running a team, what would your standard be to have a video tribute? Would it depend on the player, or it's kind of a case-by-case basis?
So as I said before, earlier in the podcast, I have everybody in the Hall of Fame. Like, I am the easiest when it comes to all that stuff. I get where people are bickering about this, and considering I'm on board with the video tributes, as nice of a guy and as good of a player as Jarry is, I don't think he falls under that category. Jan's hit it on the head. Like, they've won 5 Stanley Cups as an organization. Like, you know, if Sid, if Gino's retiring, so that won't happen. Letang, like any of those guys ever come back, give them a 10-minute standing O. They've just had too many guys in that roster who have accomplished so much to be just handing those out like candy. And I think that there should almost be a board. A board amongst the NHL where they have to say, hey, we're thinking about giving this guy a video tribute, where they're like,
Yeah.
Now, some of these players that maybe don't have the impact on the ice as they do off the ice in the community, where it is being done during a TV timeout. So it's not like you're stalling the game at all. And I'm actually surprised, because I want to say I saw online that during one of the TV timeouts, they did give Jarry a video. So maybe I'm getting bad information here, but I think he falls under the category where, hey man, thanks for your time. We'll come say hi in the hallway after the game, but you ain't getting a video. There has to be a prerequisite. 1,000 points, get out there, fucking whip your cocks out for your teammate. I don't give a shit. But the video tributes,
Yeah.
Speaking of the Penguins, man, how about Sid? He does. I mean, he looks like he's 27 years old out there. What he's been doing, 19 goals, 16 assists in 32 games. But although Klingberg, that was nasty. The overtime goal with Klingberg and Celebrini the other night. You don't see that happen to Sid too often. A guy dangling like that.
Klingberg looked like Dallas Klingberg. That whole game he was great, but that move that he made and then Celebrini gave it back to him, right? Like that was an incredible play, and it. You know, one of the worst comebacks or best comebacks, depending on who you root for. That game was, like Biz likes to say, crack on ice.
And I know you mentioned the announcer Randy Hahn the other day, Biz, but I literally was like half asleep, and his call like woke me out of a slumber. It was just epic, and each, like, if you listen, they put all the goals together in one clip, and you know he just got a little louder each one. So great stuff from Randy Hahn. Awesome highlights.
And you know, they've been polishing some turds there for a few years now with that team not being good. And it's funny that you said that. Randy ended up texting me today saying, hey, thanks for the shout out. So thank you to you, RA, reaching out mid-live podcast in order to give me the heads up on who it was. So he's a stallion. I want to say he's in his 60s. Look like he's 40 years old, man. Good for him.
Army does an unreal job with them too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, which one? Who, sorry?
Army with Pittsburgh.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Army's incredible. He's a great play-by-play, our color guy.
Boys, we want to send our love to Kelly Chase. I'm not sure if you saw the clip the other night. He addressed the crowd at the Blues game, and you know he's been battling cancer for years now, and you know he's had a couple more issues pop up, but you know we just want to let Chase out. We love you. He's one of the most well-liked guys in anywhere around the league, but he was actually in town. It was September. I stopped down the nights down the street, and he was in town with his son. They had some business to take care of, and Big Jimmy Vesey was there, and it was just the 4 of us. There was no one down there, and we had an awesome night, man. He was in great spirits. He was telling some awesome stories, and Big Jim Vesey said, hey, how many times have you been knocked down in your career? And Jason's like, only 3. And I forget who the guy's name was, but, Jimmy's like, oh, I didn't know he was tough. And Chase is like, neither did I. You know, it was like hilarious. They telling those stories. So we just want to extend our love and everything to you, Chase. So we love you, brother. Just want to put that out there, man. He's a great guy.
You hit the nail on the head there, buddy. Like he is a machine too. Like everything that he's still doing in order to create awareness, everything that's been going on for the Hockey Fights Cancer, like him getting on the ice and talking to the crowd, and he's an inspiration. The way that he's been fighting and dealing with this, starting a podcast of his own with Brett Hall and slinging the stories, and you could just tell like being around the boys and in that locker room setting is what brings him true joy. especially just doing it through the pain that he's in and the fatigue that he's in. Like, it's affected. I mean, he lost his eyesight for, I believe, 5-6 days that he said recently, and just going through all the chemo and everything, man. He was a larger than life, insanely tough hockey player, and he has surpassed that by light years, the way that he's handled this situation that he's going through right now. So just to piggyback what you said, our thoughts are with him. He's going to keep fighting, and he's going to beat this fucker because he's as tough as they come.
Yeah, and when you think of Chaser too, obviously an absolute killer on the ice, but what he's done behind the scenes for that alumni program, like when you talk about alumni programs in the NHL, in St. Louis is the standard, right? And he's been the main part of that for a long, long time. So just a guy that he's all about others, right? He's not just trying to do it for himself. He's keeping people together. He's keeping alumni around, giving back to the game, and just an unbelievable guy. And you hope and pray, and I hope everybody has him in their prayers, and hope that he gets better.
It's actually the fact that you brought that up, RA, because I saw that video you're talking about that was going around. I actually, when we went to the outdoor game last year, it was St. Louis and Chicago. St. Louis ended up taking it down, but Wayne had brought a bunch of jerseys, like a old school throwback, the looking ones that you wore on the ice, with Chase and number 39 on the back of it. So I grabbed one, and I actually put it right behind where I record. But we're not recording in my regular spot today. So it's going to be behind me from now on when we record the podcast. And I actually, somebody left the extra one. So I have the extra one. Jans, I don't know if you got one or
I'll take one.
Maybe or even RA, I can send it to you and you could put it behind you there just to kind of continue to show our support for him. And as crazy as this sounds, like, I bet you he would love to even come on and talk and just talk hockey with us at a certain point, especially when his energy is where it needs to be. So we're thinking of you. We love you, Chaser, and you're an absolute legend, and you're exactly what the game of hockey embodies.
Yep.
Yeah, I was really glad I just stopped in spur of the moment that night. Got to spend some time with him. So that time of the year, Christmas time, less than a week away. I know we talk about the movies every year. We're not going to do that. Christmas Vacation, Christmas Story, Elf, Bad Santa. But I want to say I think might be the worst Christmas movie, and I hate to say it because I love Michael Keaton, but I put on that Jack Frost the other night. I didn't put it on. It came on, when he dies and he comes back to life as a snowman. And I never heard anything good about it. I started. It was like, this could be like, like a Liar type movie, father-son thing, but, tough watch. Just a tough watch. It felt like they were trying to be in like the CGI Olympics when they made it and just had to finish this movie in time just to try to get some award, but it was a friggin' tough watch. Keith, you ever see it?
I cried like a baby during that movie, though. All right, like, that is a sad movie when the kid is waiting for his dad to come to his hockey game, and then the dad gets in a car crash, and you just think about like, oh my God, I love my dad so much. He always just wanted to come to my hockey games. Every time I watch that, I bawl my eyes out.
I've never even heard of it, to be honest.
No shit, really? Yeah.
Jack Frost.
Yeah, I basically, I'm not to knock on G, but it was like a movie for like 7-year-olds who got kept back 3 times already. It was just like, I don't know. I know it's an annual hit, but I don't know. It was a tough watch for me. Again, I love Michael Keaton. I hate even saying that, but what about Biz? Do you ever go watch the old ones, the Rudolph and Frosty, the OG ones?
The one that was done with clay?
Yeah, like the
I watched that sometimes. That was one I watched growing up. I loved it. Obviously Christmas Story, but yeah, I like to hit up I loved Elf. I thought for like one of the new school ones, Elf's probably at the top of the list.
Bad Santa.
Bad Santa's great.
Bad Santa's great. Jim Carrey and what he did with the Grinch, perfect guy to replay the Grinch in that one. So yeah, there's so many good Christmas movies, and Christmas was my favorite holiday growing up. My mom made it very, very special, and I've told the story before. Like, they would always spoil me, and I ended up getting the Gretzky aluminum the one year. So Christmas is a great time for me.
Absolutely.
Definitely. Like, I don't give 2 fucks about the gift giving anymore. Like, I don't need one single present. I just want to be around friends and family and be having a good time and a little time off work.
Yeah, absolutely. I think years ago, like my siblings, we just well, you're gonna buy me a hat, I'm gonna buy you a hat, whatever. It's just like, I'll see you at Christmas, we'll get drunk and have a good time. But yeah, the gift giving seemed to get like too much over the years. But one other movie I noticed, it's obviously not a Christmas movie, but it seems to play at Christmas time a lot. The Wizard of Oz. Love that movie. But Keith, I would say the four characters, Dorothy, Tin Man, Cowardly Lion, and the Scarecrow. I would say that's the most iconic foursome in movie history. And I love Star Wars, but I don't know if you can come up with a more iconic foursome. But two of the four are Boston Irish guys, the Scarecrow and the Tin Man.
I didn't know that, but didn't the Tin Man get like really sick because of what he had to wear from that movie?
It was the guy who was going to play it before him, and his name escapes me. But no, Jack Haley, who played the Tin Man, no, he didn't end up getting sick. He actually was born in Boston and raised in Newton. And Ray Bolger, who plays the Scarecrow, he grew up in Dorchester, Codman Square, went to Dorchester High.
Really?
But yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, a little Boston trivia for you. And yeah, even at the end, she was from Boston too. And if you're looking for a gift for the Bruins fan in your life, our pal Mike Comito got Bruins 365.
He did a Bruins one too?
Yeah, daily stories from the ice. Great stuff. I know that he's got other versions for other teams, but for the Bees fan in your life, if you're looking for a gift, little last-minute gift, snag that. It's on Amazon or wherever else books are sold. So good stuff.
Is that
Mike.
like new? Is there new stories in that, or it's all old school stuff?
Just from the history of the franchise.
Nice.
Like right here, 2020, 22, 1979. Yeah, he skips around the years, but tons of great stuff in there. So
he did the Leafs one first, fucking traitor. Come on, Mike.
Could be in the horror section at the bookstore. I know, boys, we love to keep it light on here on Checkers, but I do want to acknowledge Rob Reiner, the director who unfortunately was murdered with his wife, Michelle, the other night. Apparently their son's been charged. It's just a sad story, but I just want to shine a light on what he did. I mean, he Spinal Tap, Stand By Me, Princess Bride, Harry Met Sally, A Few Good Men. I mean, those are probably one of the best mockumentaries of all time, one of the best coming of age movies of all time, Stand By Me. One of the best fantasies, Princess Bride, Harry Met Sally, probably the best romantic comedy ever, and the court drama, A Few Good Men. He was also a great actor, All in the Family back in the 70s. He was the father in Wolf of Wall Street. But for me, it was Stand By Me. I saw that when I was 14. My dad took me to see that, and that was right in my wheelhouse. I mean, it was, I was that age, same age as those kids. And I don't know if you saw I posted the other day, Biz. It wasn't really a review. It was an English assignment my freshman year of high school. And they picked like the best one in the class to be in the school paper. And I wrote like five warthog. I gave him 5 warthogs, Stand By Me. So, and it was like the first time I ever like realized, okay, I can like talk about this movie in another way. Obviously, I had read movie reviews before, but that was the first time, I ever like really expanded my thoughts on it. So yeah, it's just, again, a sad story. Stand By Me, just a timeless classic. And you don't have to be guys, girls, everybody loves that. Everybody can relate to youth and friendship and all that stuff. What do you got, Busy?
You said that it's considered a coming of age movie.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean by that? As in, like, you just like a growth from like adolescence to adulthood and like experiencing like life, like growing up life things. Like, what do you mean?
No, pretty much. Yeah. Basically, when you're maybe an adolescent or a teenager, you're basically not an adult yet, just sort of that age that those guys were in the movie. Yeah, that's sort of a category, coming of age movies. There's a handful of them out there, but for my money, Stand By Me, the best. I mean, I watch it every few months just to, freshen up on it.
Is that what your Halloween costume was?
Yeah.
The guy is
Ray Brower.
I've seen parts of the movie. Like, I'm pretty sure I've seen it, but it's been so long. Is that the main focal point as they discover a dead body and it kind of like what transpires from that?
Vern, Jerry O'Connell, who goes on PMT all the time?
Yes.
Married to Rebecca Romaine. Yeah, he was, when you watch the movie, you'd never know he was going to be the one to marry a supermodel. He still had a little baby fat on him. But yeah, he overhears his brother and his friends talking about, the body that's missing. And then they all go lie to their parents, say they're camping out, and they go look for the body. And that's basically the gist of it. It was a Stephen King novella, a short story. Actually, I got the book over there. He wrote 4 stories in that book, and 3 of them became movies: Shawshank Redemption, Apt Pupil, and Stand By Me.
Wow. So this guy, I've obviously seen what you're talking about, RA. Like, I wasn't really familiar with the guy's name or his body of work and didn't realize he was the one to direct all those. I have now seen clips that have been popping up where it seemed like he was close with his son, where he'd be doing interviews and his son would be involved in the interviews. So like, what has happened? Like, you're saying that him and his wife were both killed by that son that was in all these clips and interviews?
Yeah, he's been charged with their murder. He's had some I guess some substance abuse issues, some mental health issues. Dealing with homelessness, and I guess there was a story in I think with the Hollywood Reporter, and I guess he showed up at a party at like Conan O'Brien's house. I'm not sure if he went with the parents or if he just showed up, and I guess he was making people real uncomfortable and like just kind of like staring at people, and that was the night before. Yeah, he allegedly killed his parents, but yeah, he had been dealing with a lot of issues, and actually Rob Reiner made a movie a few years back about based on his story, having a child with addiction issues and stuff, and it's just It's just, just awful.
So to the point where,
way to go.
So obviously it could become a deeper discussion, like basically drug addiction to the point where sometimes the parents, like the last resort is like, you have to cut ties, right? You have to say, I'm not giving you any more money. You're not going to stay here. That you're no longer going to affect our life with the choices that you're making. And it's terrible because like, we don't need to get into the whole like addiction and what creates it, but at a certain point, he was like no longer at the house. Was that the case recently when he like killed them, like where he was no longer living there and stuff?
I think they might have had like like a house out back, like a guest house he had been staying at. But the other story said he had been homeless. But yeah, he basically has had a lot of issues for quite a while. And yeah, and it is. It's just a tough story. But yeah, I just want to acknowledge Rob Reiner and also to James Woods. Jimmy, great actor. He did a great interview on Fox the other night, and those two are polar opposites when it comes to the way they view the world and politics. But I just thought it was so classy with James Woods. Just he put all that stuff aside. He was in a movie with him. Was in his movie, Ghosts of Mississippi a while ago, and I just thought the way he handled it with such grace and empathy, and yeah, I just thought it was a good example of like, hey man, the world's fucked up right now. Everything's kind of crazy, and people have more common ground than they realize. So I just want to acknowledge, Jimmy Woods for saying what he said. And just, we're all here for a while, man. We should try to be a little bit nicer to each other.
Oh, for sure. That's terrible.
His scene in Wolf of Wall Street when he's trying to watch The Equalizer and someone calls him on the phone is I think it's one of the best scenes in the whole movie in a movie that has some amazing scenes. You remember that scene, Biz, when the dad?
No, describe it.
He's sitting down on his chair trying to watch The Equalizer. The phone rings. He's like, who the fuck is calling me? I'm trying to watch The Equalizer. Walks over the phone. He's like, motherfucking shit. Yellow.
Yeah.
Answers the phone. Yellow. And then he's like, yeah, no, all set. Hangs up. He's like, fuck. He loses. It's unbelievable. It's such a good scene.
That's I don't remember that one.
You must have seen some old All in the Family apps, Keith. Yeah.
Back in the day. Yep.
What an unbelievable show. I mean, that show changed television forever, but good stuff there. So, yeah, Rob Reiner, thoughts and prayers and sympathies to his family and friends. Just a sad story. But moving along here in the same vein with movies, my classic recommendation this week is Thief. It's a 1981 Michael Mann movie, the guy who directed Heat, The Inside, a bunch of other great movies. It was his first movie he directed, and it's pretty much regarded as a masterpiece. It stars James Caan as a safecracker. Like they don't rob houses. They basically break into buildings and steal diamonds and sell them on the side. Tremendous movie. I think it's on Prime right now. If James Caan is Sonny Corleone, if he was a 10 like intensity, the guy Frank in Thief is a 9. He's sort of similar to Sonny Corleone, but Dennis Farina, you know who that is, Keith or Biz, the actor. He was the gray-haired Chicago mustache guy. He passed away a few years ago. Well, he was an advisor on this movie. He was a Chicago cop at the time, and it was his very first movie he was in. I don't even think he has a line in it. And he ended up getting the acting bug and became like this, this huge actor, like after, being on the set. And I guess Michael Mann, he goes deep into details. I mean, you see it in Heat. If you watch Thief, you'll see it there. And on the set, there was all like cops as advisors and all the robbers too, but they weren't like scumbag robbers. They were just, boosting diamonds, and they weren't like, house robbing or anything. So all the cops and robbers on the set all like knew each other. There was like a familiarity on the set all the time. Not something you see all the time, but either way, Thief, phenomenal movie. Check it out. Get back to me. Let me know what you think about it. And winding up here, a couple picks. Last week we did all right. Tampa Bay, they won, covered the puck line. Didn't do so good in the football, but Detroit pushed on the weekend. But tonight, if Hellebuck starts tonight, Winnipeg plus 200. I know Colorado's been on a tear, but if Hellebuck's in, I'm taking Winnipeg. That's a pretty good price for a team, that's got, probably going to like try to get back on. Well, they're in the race right now, but after missing Hellebuck, I think he'll be locked in. And I like them at that price. In the NFL, Green Bay, take them on the money line. They're in Chicago. I think the line's 1.5, but just take them on the money line. It's like minus 110 or minus 115. So far, so good. Making a few bucks this year. So hopefully people following along and making a few beans as well.
Beautiful.
So, anything else, boys?
All right. Great job, buddy. Great seeing you. Yeah, you're a legend, buddy. Appreciate you starting this goddamn podcast. And now we're on Netflix.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
How long till you have your own premiere?
No. Well, I'll be on you porn, buddy. No.
Hey, what
solo?
if you could write and direct a movie, what do you think it would be about?
Probably maybe like growing up in the city, growing up in Boston, and all the craziness, like especially in a neighborhood like this. And I used to, always say I was going to write a book in college, and then when the town came out, basically like Ben Affleck more or less cucked me on that idea because it was, I even had the idea of former hockey player against, bank robbery, all that type of stuff. But yeah, I think, right where that's what they say. So yeah, I would think some sort of Boston movie, but set it back in the 70s, back when the city was really fucking banana land. So yeah, that's probably what I would do.
He did kind of jack that idea, eh? Fucking Ben Affleck. Some guys got it all.
Yeah, no shit. Boys, well, I'm not sure if I'll talk to you before next week, but if I don't, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to all our listeners out there. Happy Hanukkah, whatever else you may celebrate. Love what we do. The feedback's been great with our Rays World so far. People have been awesome about it. So thanks again, boys, and enjoy your weekend, and we'll talk soon, I'm sure.
That's it. That's a wrap, baby. Netflix.
Beautiful.
To the moon.
To the moon, baby.